Good evening and welcome to the Richland Football Network, here for Week 2's action. I'm Stone Mangus along with Sophia Mihai and Lanigan McCulty. Let's get right to it. Your 1-0 Rams take on the 1-0 Central Martinsburg Red Dragons for tonight's matchup. Let's take a look at some of the final scores for last week's conference matchups. Bishop McCourt falls to Bedford 44-0. Chestnut Ridge defeated Somerset 30-7. Westmont wins by the skin of their teeth with the 21-19 win over Central Cambria. And Greater Johnstown lost at home to Penn Cambria 42-6. Next Friday, the Rams will take on rival school Bishop McCourt for a 7 p.m. kickoff at Sargent's Stadium at the Point. Here's a look at last week's win against last year's District 6 runner-up, Forest Hills. Friday night, Forest Hills scored 8 points before the lightning delay, which eventually became a lightning cancellation. The game resumed the following night, finally giving the Rams a chance to touch the ball. After a rough start, a key defensive stop on third down, then an interception by Luke Vitale, sparked the Rams' offense. Sam Penna led them down the field, where Evan McCracken punched it in for the Rams' first score of the game. He also scored on a 50-yard bubble, putting the Rams in the lead once again. Sam Penna threw for 217 yards, connecting with Graydon Lewis on a crucial third down late in the game, and Ryan McGowan on several occasions. Penna rushed for 10 yards and connected with McCracken for another 53-yard bomb. On the defensive side of the ball, Declan Piscatella had several tackles for losses, and Jordan Nichols had 2 sacks. In the end, the Rams' defense held out, crushing any chance Forest Hills had for a comeback. The final score was 26-23 Richland. All right, our first senior spotlight today is with Ethan Box. Ethan, thank you for being here. Can't wait. All right, so can you give us your position and how long you've played football?
I play wide receiver and outside linebacker, and I've been playing football since I was in first grade. Ever since I could play football, I played football for.
What is it like playing football for Richland?
It means a lot to play football for Richland because just like the energy in the locker room, like everyone wants to win, everyone has a high compete level, and everyone pushes each other to be the best player they could be.
What was your favorite football moment playing here at Richland?
My favorite football moment is probably just Cal U with my teammates because it's just like a team bonding thing. Everyone's together, everyone's having a good time, and at the same time we're still getting a lot of work in.
Are you involved in any other activities?
I'm involved with track and field, and I also like to lift a lot in my free time. So after football season's over, I'll be in the weight room like every day, something I enjoy doing. Then once it gets to spring, I like running track.
What teammates or coaches, past or present, have impacted you in the biggest ways?
Coach Rip impacted me. He's always like getting people to like go out their comfort zone, trying different things to play, just pushing you at all times, especially in the weight room. In the winter, he's always getting you in the weight room, always trying to make you a better player in person overall.
If you had one word to describe your time here at Richland, what would it be?
If I had to describe one word to describe football, I'd definitely say fun, because just being here around teammates is something I enjoy doing. Being around friends that want like the same goal as me to win, it's a lot of fun.
All right, that was Ethan Box. Ethan, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Hi, we're the seniors on the Richland Varsity Cheer Team, and here's a word from our sponsors.
Go Rams!
Precious Metals and Diamonds Company, Chan Jung Shang Medical Center, Cardellino Eye Care, FWF Insurance Agency, Pinnacle Chiropractic, Rizzo's, EcoSafe Sanitizing, Sporting Goods Discounters, Johnstown Construction, Flair of Country Catering, Dean Jordan Tire and Service, FX Screen Printing and Embroidery, The Fifth, Laurel Auto Group, RPM Signs, Senator Wayne Langerholk, Advantage Auto, Mihalco's, Ed DiMartino DDS, Slovenian Savings and Loan, Nikos, First Team Advertising, Winber Care, Bob Heffelfinger, Best Window and Door Company, First Summit Bank, Ponchain Financial, Advanced Office Systems, DB Homes, Beauty Lawn, Memorial Chevrolet, Tap 814, Asiagos, Market Basket, Ashbro Decorative Landscaping and Curbing, Vantage Physical Therapy, Roof Rejov, and Ideal Market. Again, thank you to our 2022 Richland football sponsors. This production could not be done without you all.
We're here with our second senior spotlight of the week, Hayden Lucas. Hayden, thank you for being here. What position do you play, and how long have you played football?
I play offensive and defensive line, and I've played for 9 years now.
What other activities are you a part of outside of football?
Outside of football, I'm a member of the school's track and TSA teams. In TSA, we mainly focus on technology as well as designing and building for competitions at the national level. And for track, I am a thrower.
What does it mean to you to have been a Richland Ram?
Being a Richland Ram means being a part of this team and this Ramley.
You were a Boy Scout early on in your life. How has that experience helped you play football?
Being a Boy Scout really helped me develop the work ethic I needed to get me through both school and through football.
Do you have any teammates or coaches that have left an impact on you?
I'd say the coach that had the biggest influence on me was probably Coach Rugg. He's been there ever since I started playing varsity, and he's just kind of always been there, and it's good to have him around.
If a future Ram is watching, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them that if they really wanted to play on Friday nights, they really just need to keep putting in the work, both in season and out of season.
Thank you for being here with us this week. Appreciate it. Hayden Lucas, everybody.
I'm Stone Mangus, this is Coach Bailey, and this is the 2-minute drill. What are your expectations for the team on Friday?
It's a huge game. Central's number 3 or 4 in the state in AAA, and we're ranked in single or AA.
How does a team's comfort level change when you go from playing a home game to traveling on the road?
I mean, it's different. I mean, you have to get on the bus. I mean, it just all the timing about it's different. So it's certainly a challenge for us.
Which coach gets the most fired up for a game?
Oh wow, it probably depends on who the opponent is, and I think a lot of different coaches get fired up.
What is your favorite sport other than football?
A big college basketball guy.
Can you give us an update on the team's overall health?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a couple guys banged up and out right now, and not going to talk a whole bunch about individuals, but certainly hope guys get healed up and get back on the field.
Who's been a younger guy that stepped up in practice recently?
A young guy that's been doing good in practice would be Noah Ritko.
Some players might say you are their role model, but tell us, Coach, who is your role model?
Oh, for me, I got to go back to my father. My father was a head football coach at Forest Hills for 45 years, and also was a teacher and school administrator, like I've become myself.
Would you say that Richland's main colors are red or blue?
I think that's an interesting question. It would depend on which old school alumni you would ask, but I think they both go together great, and we have a good combination of both going on. So I'm not going to go with either red or blue. I'm going to say both.
If one of the players who is not listed at a quarterback had to fill in for one game, who would you want in that position?
I would say just based on what we've done so far, I would go with Evan McCracken.
What other sport would you want to coach other than football?
I've always loved basketball, and I think coaching basketball would be cool. But also a big track and field guy. I think the whole vibe of track is a good thing in the spring.
All right, and we are out of time. I'm Stone Mangus, this is Coach Bailey, and this was the 2-minute drill. That's all for tonight's pregame show. I'm Stone Mangus.
All right, hey, welcome. We are in Roaring Spring. I am with Jim Penna. Don't worry, Fred is okay. He wants his loyal listeners to know he is fine. He has a family function he's with today, so Fred is fine. But Jim, how many places do we try to find this field coming down here? PJ had a heck of a time driving, but this was quite a haul.
We stopped at 3 other fields, and as we arrived here, my wife was texting, "Where's the field?" So I'm going to guess we weren't the only fans that were such. It is quite a bit away from their high school, but my understanding, Ed, we were just speculating this back when Central and Roaring Spring had separate schools and they merged up. Part of the deal was that they would play the football games out here, which is where Roaring Springs used to play their contests. So we are probably about 3 miles, maybe 4 miles from the school, and it is not an easy 4 miles, but a good natural surface field, and certainly a lot of fan base here for the Central Dragons.
Yeah, and as usual, Richland travels very, very well. We're in the home side of the press box here looking across, and Richland fans are almost filling up the entire stand. So as usual, Richland fans travel very, very well. This is a great matchup, Jim. It is early in the season. Richland starts off their first game with a tough matchup against a very much improved Forest Hills team. Central comes in having to play Bishop Guilfoyle and had a test of their own. So here we are. I mean, to clash of two really good teams.
I'll start with last week's game. I don't even know if it's fair to describe them as a much improved. That is a team that played for the district championship last year. Now, last year, it was all behind the running of Crawley, where they a one-man band. And I think what you saw with Colton Daniel, was probably a back who isn't quite as physically gifted, who certainly was a much more team-oriented runner and much more pure determined runner, even when things weren't going well. And they showed well. You're right about who they faced in Guilfoyle, defending single-A champ, the single-A quarterback for that squad, the single-A athlete of the year, quarterback of the year. So, and that came down to a final pass that fell short in the end zone. So, and in terms of quarterback, while our Sam Penna, and let's be honest, I can say my Sam Penna, but for tonight we'll say our Sam Penna, first-year starter in this, as well-versed in our offense. But the guy behind the center for Central is arguably one of, if not the best quarterback in the state last year. Racked up huge, 57 touchdowns and more yards than I can recall. So he'll be a linchpin for them. So in terms of the quarterback battle, you'd have to give them the advantage, certainly on experience, and that'll be Richland's job, how well they can chase that guy down and either force him into mistakes or just flat out keep him from beating you.
I'm going to check down with PJ. If PJ, you can hear us down there. I'm not sure if you're turned on, but I think PJ is good. So PJ, on a natural grass field, we don't have many of them left here in the Laurel Highlands, but what are the conditions down on the field?
The turf looks thick. It's kind of well known. I'll tell you the one thing. I don't know if you can see this or not from down here, Ed. If this was a golf green to my left, you'd never make that putt. So I don't know if I get myself breaking up there.
Kind of breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, a little frequency break. I'm not moving my.
Well, we lost them there. I'm sure we'll get them back.
Yeah, we'll get them back in a little bit. We have a lot of interference, a lot of things. We are really crammed tight into the box. I'm going to make really good friends with Ryan Robertson. Good friends with him already, but Ryan and I are going to become really good friends here in the next 2.5 hours or so as we are in with the Richland Rams coaching staff, which is kind of interesting sometimes, Jim, when you get to hear their dialogue.
All right, we'll effort not to get caught up in what they're saying. I do want to point out, you mentioned where we are in the press box. So most of the ambient noise you will hear the crowd actually reacting to the opposite of what your instincts are, because we are in the heart of the Central fan base. Although there's a good bit of Central fans over on the opposite side of the field where all the Richland fans are as well. And the Rams are taking the field right now.
Rams dressed in the white shirts, blue pants, look really, really good. We have the pancake holder is number 3. No, the American flag holder is number 3. That is, name's escaping me real quick. Jordan Nichols. Sam Penna, that is Brady Hollis, number 55 with the Richland Ram flag, and number 68 with the pancake flag, and that is Ethan Janidlo.
Quite an honor for Hollis coming out carrying the flag in his second game. As a freshman, played a heck of a game last week, and certainly whenever you win a close game against a good team, everybody's contribution was incredibly valuable. So am I hearing pyrotechnics in the background?
I do hear a little bit of pyrotechnics. Very, very good. Yes. It's
an interesting phenomenon. Pyrotechnics are actually not allowed by PIAA rule at game facilities. Artificial noisemakers and the use of pyrotechnics are expressly forbidden.
I believe it's coming from the neighbors.
The neighbors are shooting it off. Okay, there you go.
There you go. So, and I'm going to guess there's no local ordinance against that, so we're good there.
Looks like national anthem about ready to be played. So we'll go ahead and just take a really quick break as the national anthem goes on. So just hang tight. We'll be back with you really, really shortly here on the Richland Ram Football Network. All right, Jim, as we want to give props to the Central band sounded pretty good there, so nice rendition of National Anthem by them.
They did, although I'm going to guess that we have one player who's probably in trouble with his mom and dad. The number 33 for Central forgot to take his helmet off. And I'm certain Mom was sitting in the stands going,
Take your helmet, take your helmet.
They're playing the school national.
This is their alma
mater for Central here right now, and a decent-sized band. As you recall last year, they put it to us pretty good. This is a good football team, a good football program, a terrific quarterback, and the community very much interested in what they do, just like our Rams run out of a tunnel. These guys take the field through a large helmet. No dragon on the side. Looks more like the Cincinnati.
I was going to say, when I came in here, I thought there was a lot of Cincinnati Red fans here, but actually it's just their hats for Central. So pretty nice. I was a little confused. Should have worn my Met hat. That's what I felt like, But
I don't know about that. So.
Hey, my Mets are having a good year. Let's not rip on my Mets just quite yet.
Your Mets. I didn't know that was even a thing. So.
Oh, yeah. They're my Mets.
I'm wondering where PJ wandered to down there as we're getting ready to take care of this. We got captains coming out for the toss here in a moment.
Captains are Sam Penna, Graydon Lewis, Evan McCracken, and trying to catch number. Is that Darden? I can't really catch number because he's got his shirt rolled up.
I can't see the number, but I can't imagine that's not Darden Horsley.
Yeah, so there you go as the captains for the Rams. So I'm looking for a really good night of football. It is an absolutely beautiful night. I don't think we have to worry about any kind of lightning delayed at night, as was the case last week. It is gorgeous out this way. As we were driving up, Jim, I mean, the land is beautiful. Just a lot of open farmland. It is gorgeous. We saw a lot of it.
We did. A lot of it many times over as we kept circling the area trying to get to the field. I think, we kind of are hoping for a little lightning here in terms of the speed of Graydon Lewis and Evan McCracken. The Rams will face a lot of pressure up front from this Central defense. They bring a lot of pressure on every play. And, if you kind of want to define things offensively, I think it'll be the speed of their front line versus the speed of the decision-making of Sam Penna, who's going to be challenged to recognize the defense and make a quick decision and an accurate pass right away. If he does that and gets the ball to our athletes in space on a consistent basis, we've got an excellent chance of scoring some points here. On the opposite side of that, man, keeping up with the Homestead kid as he's running around that back there quarterback. There are times when you watch some of his tape from last year where he's running and running and running, and he has no intention to cross the line of scrimmage, and it's so hard for a defensive back to maintain coverage for 15 seconds. So.
All right. So Central has won a toss. I think they've elected to take the ball. So Central will start off the game with the football.
All right, first insight of the game, I would tell you that I think if we would have won the toss, we would have deferred.
We deferred it anyway, so that's right. That's exactly right. So we'll get our first look at the Central offense. And again, just an absolutely gorgeous night here from Roaring Spring. All natural surface. And a great night for football.
I will tell you this, walking in here, I know to our own fan base, I'm just a grumpy old guy in a hat, but around here, everybody seemed to think I was a coach. As I was making my way around the stadium wearing my Richland hat and my game day expression, it was, "Hi, coach. Excuse me, coach. Okay, are you looking for something, coach?" So anybody wearing a Dragon paraphernalia seemed to think that I was had the soured look of a high school football coach on game day. So
I asked for the Wi-Fi password to the for the AD, and I got the and who are you? So like, okay, but she put it in for me. She was nice enough to get it and load it up for me.
A shirt with a collar and some long pants might help you with that.
Yeah, I'm wearing my golf shorts and my Richland Ram football T-shirt from the golf outing, which was a huge success.
So. It was a fair question from the athletic director. As we go into it. I not that we wanted to struggle, which we did last week, but the Rams in the early part of this season here have the notion that folks are more worried about players that have graduated than the players that we have on the field here right now, and that might be key as if Richland can find a way to jump out on things. So, all right, Declan Piscatella to kick off.
Yep, and back deep for the Dragons is number 22 Eli Lingenfelter and number 1 Jacob Benton. There's a good long kick. Fielded at about the 8-yard line by Benton. Benton turns this up, tries to find a seam, and Ethan Box makes contact, can't put him down. He's finally finished off by number 44, Luke Feitel. So short of the 30-yard line. Good special teams win, as Coach Fred Yanity would say. Again, no need to worry about Fred. He's okay. He's at a family function, so Fred is fine. We have a very capable Jim Penna in the booth with us. Glad to have him. PJ McGowan on the field. I'm Ed DiMartino. And we are just underway here from the home of the Scarlet Dragons.
He's not going to get credit on the tackle of that, but Ethan Boggs did a nice job of turning that cutback back to the middle of the field. He probably could have gotten the tackle, but he turned it back in, and that guy ended up with a big hit. So first snap of the game.
All right, ball at the 26-yard line of the Dragons. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein looks to his left, has a man. That is Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith down along the sideline, gets over the 40-yard line before being brought down by number 44, Luke Feitel. So these are going to be the two guys we're going to look for pretty much on offense. Actually, there's going to be three guys. It's going to be Hohenstein, it's going to be Hunter Smith, and it's going to be Eli Lingenfelter.
Well, one of the things you have to worry about there is you're going to have the position of Austin Yarnig on that. Austin was in a good spot, actually, but Hunter Smith has about 60 pounds on Austin and a few inches. So he's going to have to be lined up right in order to be able to make that tackle.
Yeah, Hunter Smith is listed as 6'2", 210 pounds. So going with an empty backfield now. Hohenstein in the gun. Richland showing blitz, backs off. Hohenstein going to roll out to his right. Hohenstein looking downfield. Hohenstein being caught from behind a little bit before being pushed out of bounds. With the pressure was number 6, Evan McCracken. So it looks like we'll see where they spot the ball. Jim, not sure where he stepped out of bounds, but good pressure by Evan McCracken.
Well, and I'll tell you, that'll be one of the keys. Is he rolled out to his right, he started buying time, and then when McCracken decided it was go time, he closed quick. And while that still ended up being a 3 or 4 yard gain, we've certainly seen plenty of tape where that turned into much worse, or he's bought enough time where he can make a pass downfield. Hats off, to the secondary that they maintain coverage for that length of time.
Just going to say that. Ball spotted at the 44-yard line of the Dragons. 2nd and 7 with 11:08 here in the first quarter. Hohenstein going to hand off to Hunter Smith. Goes up the middle. Hunter Smith gets to about the 50-yard line, close to a first down. I think they probably need to get to they didn't call it a first down there. It'll be a first down. Nose of the ball just at the 50.
Well, I'm splitting hairs here, but that stick was clearly on the other side of that.
That's what I thought as well.
Stripe. Well, that ball is touching the stripe. But 3rd and less than an inch, it's unlikely. But that was a quick spot, and they moved the chains quickly here. Rams will have to do better than that against the run.
All right, first down and 10. Hohenstein into the gun. Hunter Smith to his right. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein looks, fires left, has a man. That is number 14, I believe. That is Ryland Doherty, who makes the grab for another first down for the Central Dragons. They're moving the ball now. Ball to about the 39-yard line of Richland.
Well, right now, the choices over on that left side, you've got Graydon Lewis, a senior with a lot of experience and terrific speed. Sam Penna was lined up over there. Now he's shifting right. So both times they've tried to attack, they've gone to the younger side of the field at this point.
All right, back in the gun. And it's a quick pitch. That is number 25 who got the toss, and he's hit hard and drugged down by number 34. That's Joe Penna. So Joe Penna makes the tackle. A really nice tackle there made. Cade Rule took that little pitch.
I will tell you that Evan McCracken got hit hard on a block on that play. Joe Penna returned the favor to the ball carrier, but Evan closed hard, and somebody came through and picked him up. You could hear the home crowd even react a moment to the block.
So a 2-yard gain, ball to the 37 now of Richland. 2nd down and 8 upcoming.
Officials timeout here. I'm not sure they have an equipment issue. They're trying to get the guy to snap, and he's coming off the field.
All right, number 18. That is Jason Clark has to come off the field. Number 12, Caden Fisher, will enter the game now for the Scarlet Dragons. So 2nd down and 8. We are at 9:33 and counting here in the first quarter. First possession of the game by Central. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein, the ball almost tipped by Luke Feitel, will fall incomplete. Intended receiver was number 14, Ryland Doherty.
Well, significant moment here. While I would guess that now that they're on the Richland side of the 50, they're probably going to consider this 4-down territory anyway. Yep. But you've got 3rd and long. You want to hold them here and make it a 4th and long situation, or force Hohenstein into a bad decision, which he rarely makes. Good coverage there by Austin Yarnick,
yep.
and the fact that Feitel made it a small window for him.
All right, so Hohenstein into the gun. Hunter Smith to his right, and we may have a flag on the play. There is. This should be a pre-snap. They're going to call it offside, I think, here on Richland.
Yeah,
that's not what Richland wanted to do here.
We've been dangerously close to jumping a couple of times as they're doing a small shift up front. So that's going to cost us 5. And you're right, exactly what we didn't want. So all the more critical that they don't let them get anything on this play.
3rd and 3 upcoming now for the Central Scarlet Dragons. They are at the 32-yard line of Richland.
You know, at this point, you're almost hoping for a quick pass and a batted ball opportunity for Richland, because with a quarterback this size who runs as well as he do, 3rd and 3, it's very difficult to prevent a first down here.
All right, Hunter Smith will stay in the backfield and go to the right of Hohenstein. Hohenstein will fake the handoff and keep it himself, and he's nice tackle made there. That is number 53, Declan Piscatella, who grabbed the legs, and maybe no gain on the play, maybe even a loss on the play.
Well, I'll tell you, Hohenstein did a good job of actually escaping the original grasp. He lost his balance, but falling forward. That probably would have been a 2-yard loss. I think he got back to the original line of scrimmage. So a big play here, 4th down. Can the Rams D find a way to hold quickly here?
All right, 4th down and 2. Good penetration, at least, by the Rams on that play as Declan Piscatella came through. Hunter Smith to the right of Hohenstein into the gun. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein straight drop back. He's going to throw to his left. Has a man open. What a great catch. What a great catch made by Shaylin Yingling, who went up and got it. It was really good coverage there, I thought, by Austin Yarnick. And, boy, what a great catch made by Shaylin Yingling.
Some of it is in the timing. Yarnick was in a perfect position on that. And the moment he looked is the moment the ball was crossing over his head. If he turns back a second sooner, he probably gets an interception. If he holds the line and put his hands up wherever the receiver shows hands, he probably knocks that ball away. 1st and goal for Central.
Yeah, down to the 1-yard line. So a great catch made by Shaylin Yingling. And it will be Hohenstein who keeps it. Hohenstein breaks a little tackle, dives for the end zone. They're going to give him the touchdown. So it is Hohenstein who goes in from 1 yard and puts Central on the board here, 6-0, pending the extra point.
Well, there's no two ways around it. They completed 3 passes on Austin. I will tell you that his coverage on each one of those got better and tighter. He's going to have to make up his mind because they clearly, at this point, that's the game plan, at least for the first quarter.
All right, so it will be Hunter Smith doing the kicking duties here for the Central Scarlet Dragons. There's a snap. There's the hold. The kick is up, and it is going to be good. Hayden Lucas came in really nicely and almost got a piece of that ball. But 7-0 is your score with 7:46 remaining here in the first quarter. If we get PJ on, good drive, couple nice passes made by Hohenstein, couple of nice runs. But Austin Yarnick had pretty good coverage on the last one.
Did. I was whenever that happened. Like Jim said, he turned around a little bit. Ball was right above his head at the most unopportune time.
All right, too bad PJ's kind of breaking up really bad. We have a lot of interference here today.
You got the gist there. That standing right there, It was exactly that. And that some of that comes with experience. Sometimes you have to decide in that moment, I'm not going to look back for the ball. I'm going to play that receiver's hands, and then you leap up and you try to time that. And I'm telling you, his positioning was so good that had he done that, I don't know that was a good pass, but I don't know it was so perfect that it still gets over a leaping defender in that point. Lesson learned. The Rams knew coming in they were going to have to score more than 7 points to win this ball game. Let's see what they come out with. You've got McCracken and Hayden Lucas back deep to receive the opening kickoff. It'll be interesting to see if Central kicks it to any of those speedsters or tries to drop it up to an off man.
Yeah, it'll be again it's Hunter Smith who was doing the kicking duties. So Richland looking to answer the score from Central. Nice drive from the Central Dragons. They started with the drive at their own 26-yard line.
Well, the offsides on 3rd down, we had them 3rd and 7 contributed, but again, their 4th down conversion was a 20-something yard pass, so they probably would have converted anyway in the same circumstance. But you want to be able to keep that kind of pressure on the entire game.
All right, Hunter Smith going to kick this one away, and it's going to be Hayden Lucas, who will pick it up just over the 10-yard line, up over the 20, 25, hit, still on his feet as he goes out of bounds. We'll see where they spot the ball. Looks like at about the 27-yard line.
I'll tell you,
Richmond will take over.
Graydon he let that hop. It took just a little bit of an odd bounce for him instead of just a nice Sunday hop. Had he caught that a little cleaner, that first step would have been quicker. I don't know they've been off for the races, but I think it would have been a little bit more of a significant return on that. Let's see how Richland starts out on this one.
All right, so Penna will go into the gun with Evan McCracken set to his left. 3 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right.
There is nobody on the defense that's more than 4 yards off the ball.
And again,
right
just wide open down the middle of the field. Penna going to take a crack to the right. Has Graydon Lewis. Graydon Lewis makes a catch. Graydon Lewis is going to be off to the races. He's got the 30, the 20, the 10. It is a Richland Ram touchdown.
A flag
on the play. Deja vu from last week.
I can't imagine this isn't defensive pass interference.
They're going to call pass interference on Graydon Lewis.
That defender fell down onto his legs.
Yeah, boy.
And Graydon fought back to get the ball.
Tough call. So negates a huge touchdown pass from Sam Penna to Graydon Lewis.
Well, penalties were a problem last week, and while certainly there's been a lot of conversation about the efficiencies or inefficiency of the officiating crew, there's no denying that some of those were on the Rams. And regardless of how you feel about that particular play, that's the outcome. Richland's just going to have to deal with it.
And that's exactly what Coach Bailey would tell you. They just have to come back from the adversity, and they'll have to work through this. So the ball will come all the way to the 15-yard line of Richland. Now it's going to come a little further back to the 13. So first and a long way to go for the Rams with 7:28 remaining in the first quarter. Richland down 7-0.
Richland trying to buy a little of that back with a freeze play did not work.
All right, it'll be Evan McCracken takes the handoff. McCracken will get over the 20-yard line, over the 20. Over the 20.
That can be disheartening, Ed. You emotionally, the quarterback of the team, the wide receiver, everybody has to refocus and pay attention to the job at hand. It can be emotionally draining, especially after the penalty calls from last week, to get that first touchdown in such a quick fashion and then have it taken off the board. They have to fight through that in this moment.
All right, 2nd and 15 upcoming. Quick pass out to McCracken. Off his hands will fall incomplete. So look for the quick pass out to the right to Evan McCracken.
Well, probably a little higher than Sam would have wanted that, but certainly a catchable ball. I think part of that, early game jitters, I think Evan wanted to take off before he quite had it secured. So a combination of a pass just a tick higher than he wanted and a receiver who was hitting the go button before he had the ball in his hands.
All right, so 3rd and 15 upcoming for Richland. Ball at their own 23-yard line. They trail here 7-0 with 6:53 remaining here in the first quarter. Penna back to throw. Penna looks. Penna has a man, and it's Ethan Baux. Ethan Baux over the 30-yard line.
Well, that's a solid completion there, but that's going to be short of the first down, and the Rams deep or in their own territory, not likely to go for it on 4th down here, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, ball spotted at about the 33-yard line. And they have to make it to, they're going to put in the punt unit here. Would have been a 4th and about 5 upcoming if Richland had decided to go for it. They'll go ahead and punt here. It is Ethan Janidlo on to do the punting duties. And it is number 22, Eli Lingenfelter, back deep for the Central Scarlet Dragons. Little high snap over the hands of Janidlo. Janidlo chases it back. Janidlo.
He's got time to kick it.
He has time to kick, but he's going to lower the shoulder, and he will go down. So huge special teams mistake there made by the Rams. It's going to give Central the football at the Richland Ram 12-yard line. So the game plan not going according to script so far, Jim. It is early enough in the ball game, but Richland just obviously does not want to put themselves in this big of a hole.
Well, the difficult part about that is you're already down a score and it's a short field. The good news here is if you can stop them quickly, they probably haven't eaten up a lot of clock. But certainly already in 4-down territory for them. And again, with a quarterback that runs as well as this guy does, a tough go for the Ram defense here. I would expect something kind of aggressive from the linebackers, Penna and McCracken, to try to lengthen up the 2nd down on this. Force a quick decision.
All right, they're going to call timeout as Hovenstein came out and called timeout. So why don't we have a little break? Let's run down on our sponsors. I can't do this without them. We have 34 of them, which is fantastic. If you'd like to get in, certainly just contact PJ McGowan. You'll be streamed on the bottom of all of our feeds, and you'll be mentioned here all the time. So we want to thank First Summit Bank, Best Window, Chan Soon Chong Medical Center, Ponchione Financial Group, Advanced Office Systems, Cardellino Eye Care, FWF and Erie Insurance Provider, Pinnacle Chiropractic, Spine and Sports, Nico's Restaurant, Rizzo's Italian Restaurant, Dean Jordan Goodyear Tires, Johnstown Construction, Sporting Goods Discounters, Flair of Country Catering, The Fifth Bar and Grill, DB Homes, FX Screen Printing, Slovenian Savings and Loan, Laurel Auto Group, Precious Metals and Diamond Company, Beauty Lawn, Dr. Edward L. DiMartino, DMD, Mahalco's General Contracting, Inc., State Senator Wayne Langerholk, Memorial Chevrolet, RPM Signs, Advantage Auto Service, Ashbro Landscape Curbing, Roof Rejuve, Vantage Physical Therapy, Asiago's Restaurant, Tap 814 Bar and Grill, Market Basket Grocery Store, and First Team Advertising. Thank you to one and all. All right, so 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line of the Rams. Come the Central Scarlet Dragons, already leading here 7-0. Cade Rule will be the running back. Cade Rule steps out to the left now. Hohenstein back to throw. The ball tipped in the air. It's up in the air. It will fall incomplete. So we had to tip ball, went way up in the air. Jim had a lot of hang time. And we have a flag on the play.
I tell you, a lot of pressure from Richland up front. Should be a hold. And
it is. That's going to be a hold on Central. So that's kind of a big play. It's going to push him back all the way to the 22-yard line now. 10-yard penalty for holding on Central.
Well, early on here, it looks like the Richland defense, in terms of the pressure they're going to apply, they might vary the methods, has decided they're not going to sit around and wait for this quarterback to beat him. They're going to make him make some quick decisions as well.
All right, the ball comes out to 25 as the holding happened at about the 15-yard line. So 10-yard spot from there, 25-yard line. 1st and 20. 1st and 23, we'll call it, for Central.
They can get a first down around the 2.5, 3-yard line, so.
All right, two backs in the backfield now with Hunter Smith and Rule.
That's a middle screen.
And that's going to be right, middle screen, good call. That is Cade Rule, and Rule brought down from behind.
And I tell you, here's the tell on Hohenstein. If it's a middle screen, it's the only time he doesn't sprint. He drops straight back. He backpedals. The only time he backpedals is when he's going to run that middle screen. When he starts running, when those legs are going, but when he's taking those small steps, just like dropping back like an outfielder might do on a small fly ball, that's when he throws that middle screen.
So Austin Yarnick on the tackle. That'll spot the ball at about the just over the 15-yard line.
So they don't get back the full penalty, so it's still a plus on that. So
yeah, 2nd down and 13 upcoming. Hunter Smith now will be to the right of Hohenstein. We are at 4:42 and counting remaining in the first quarter. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein looks to the right. Hohenstein has a man, and that's Eli Lingenfelter. Good coverage there by Sam Penna.
Well,
so good timing by Sam Penna. Eli Lingenfelter putting up his hands like there should have been a penalty. I think it was good timing by Sam Penna to knock the ball away.
I tell you, I think Lingenfelter had Sam beat, and the pass was such, it required a little bit of touch, and Sam was able to close at the very end and get hand on hand. And there's a good example there. Sam played the hand of the receiver instead of hoping to turn around and get the interception. You know, he played smackdown, and the ball fell. It was still almost a catch by Lingenfelter. I think he had a second opportunity at that ball, but he didn't reach back out for it. I think he was surprised that there was contact. So 3rd down for the Dragons.
Yep, 3rd and 13 upcoming here. Central leading 7-0 with 4:35 remaining here in the first quarter. They have the ball at the Richland 15-yard line. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein looking to his left. He throws a little wobbly pass, and Austin Yarnick in coverage. This time, really good coverage by Austin Yarnick. Takes the ball away. They were looking for Eli Lingenfelter back in the left-hand corner of the end zone.
Right.
Ball a little wobbly. The ball might have got tipped a little bit.
It might have been tipped. I think the greater thing is it came out of his hands because he was waiting, and then suddenly there was pressure, and he didn't quite have the trigger the whole way back, and he short-armed letting it go, and probably to his benefit. So a big 4th down play here.
This is huge. It's 4th and 13 upcoming.
PJ, what do you got?
There's a strong argument for defensive pass interference on that last play.
It looked every bit as much. If you're going to call what you called on grade, and it certainly looked every bit as much. So you got to watch the running quarterback here. I would guess he's going to get a run pass option and a chance to throw it on the run.
Offensive.
All right, Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein getting some pressure from behind. Hohenstein throwing to the right. Has Lingenfelter in the corner of the end zone. It's going to fall incomplete. Sam Penna in good coverage. Stride for stride with Eli Lingenfelter. So Richland, after the big special teams mistake, holds Jim, and Richland will take over at about their own 15-yard line. So a big stop by Richland. We'll see if they gain a little momentum now.
I tell you, if you combine our first two games, we've had the ball for about 60 seconds in the first quarter. Between the first quarter interception, the long drive from Richland, we spotted Forest Hills an entire first quarter of football. To get a hold there after turning the ball over at the 12 is significant. Let's see if the Richland Ram defense can settle in.
Looks like we're going maybe a little wildcat, and it is going to be Graydon Lewis who will take the handoff from McCracken, go over the right side, get over about the 20-yard line. So good pickup on first down, about 5 yards.
Well, and here's part of the mystery. Whenever the Rams do that and they kick Sam out, we used to say last year whenever Sam would occasionally throw a pass out of the formation, that's not a wide receiver. That's a perfectly capable quarterback able to throw it. So when you split him out, that's just not a quarterback that's out on a thing. You're going to have to be serious about covering number 5. He was one of the better receivers on the team last year. And if you don't pay attention to him, it could be a problem.
All right, so Sam will go back under the quarterback position now as he goes into the gun. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Officials timeout. Clearly wants to have Central get a better look at the offensive formation.
As McCracken now will reset to the right. And back to throw. Penn, a quick throw. Has a man. That is Graydon Lewis over the 40-yard line. Nice grab by Graydon Lewis. Good pass by Sam Penna.
Well, we all know that in athletics, sometimes the last thing you want to do is let the other team believe. And Central, after the whooping that they gave us last year and the reputation the team has, and rightfully so with the quarterback they have, a big 4th down stop after turning at the 12. The Rams on the move here a little bit like right now. This can be a moment for them, but they've got to stay disciplined. They can't have any self-inflicted mistakes.
Ball at the 42-yard line now of Richland. Penna back to throw. Penna, a quick throw again. He has Evan McCracken at the 50-yard line to 40. The 35. McCracken makes the move at the 30. And he is on his feet still as he crosses the 25-yard line. Good hard running after the catch by Evan McCracken. Takes the ball into Central territory.
I can tell you this. I would not have wanted to have been Mr. or Mrs. McCracken when that boy decided to take off in the grocery store when he was 5 years old, right? You're not. Evan McCracken's got some wheels.
All right, so ball at the 23-yard line of Central. Penna to throw. Oh, off the hands of Graydon Lewis. I think he wanted to turn and run. He was open and just kind of off the fingertips.
Well, that's not an easy catch, but because the route is designed such that you have your back turn, you're going. But he had space. If he takes the moment and makes that catch, he's got time to turn. But again, you've got to settle in and do the first things first, and in this case, catch the ball.
Richland going with the quick passing game, moving the ball down the field. 3:14 left to go in the first quarter. Richland trailing 7-0, but has the ball at the Central 23-yard line. We have a flag on the play.
Well, we had a freeze play on it. Didn't look like they jumped, but now they're going to call something on Richland.
Yeah, they're going to call a false start here on the Rams. So to push it back 5 yards to the 28. We'll bring up 2nd down and 15. Yeah, so penalties have been a little bit of an issue, Jim, here for the Rams in the early going. Only 2nd game of the season.
I don't know that I saw an illegal procedure. I don't know that I saw.
Yeah, PJ was down. I don't know if we can hear PJ. PJ, your thoughts on that?
That was a traditional Ram freeze play.
All right, so there you go. A handoff here to Evan McCracken. Spins off the first tackler and pushes his way over the 25-yard line. Going to bring up a big 3rd down here.
I will say this, and in Forest Hills, the Forest Hills game, I was a fan of it simply because they were lining up and then stacking, then they just kept pushing a palm. I'm not a fan of that. And I think Evan should have been whistled down a little bit sooner than he was. There's a lot of extra hitting going on out there, and these are teenage boys, and they can get out of hand if you let that go too long.
All right, 3rd and 11. Penna rolls out to his right. Penna looking. Penna throws. Penna has a man. That is Graydon Lewis. Just short of the sticks. He dove for it. We'll see where they spot this ball, but it's very, very close. It's going to make about 4th down and short if he doesn't have the first down. So nice roll out by Sam Penna. Nice grab by Graydon Lewis. We're down to 2:30 here remaining in the first quarter. Richland trailing 7-0, but
First down.
and it is a first down, Richland. So it's going to put the ball. I think Richland can still get a first down. Ball spotted at about the 12. It looks like from here.
Well, I tell you, the difference between first down and fourth down there was that when Graydon realized he lost his footing, he stretched the ball out, and that bought another half yard. Having said that, had he not lost his footing, if this were Richland's home turf and the clean footing that you get from an artificial turf, I don't think he loses his footing. I think he turns and starts to do more damage.
All right, so we have a timeout. So Richland going to get and call a timeout with 2:06 remaining here in the first quarter. So Jim, this has been a game of emotions here for Richland. Okay, they give up a drive, they get scored upon, get the ball through a quick pass out to Graydon Lewis. He takes it all the way to the house, gets called back for an offensive pass interference. Richland has a hard time getting their wheels turning. Big special team mistake. Central gets the ball at the Richland 12-yard line. Richland stops that, and now we're on the move.
And I want you to take note of the passes that happen in that. It looks like Central's plan on their passes. They're throwing fade routes. Their intention is to win jump balls. They twice tried to beat Sam, and there, let's be honest, Sam's not a tall guy, so they're trying to get a physical mismatch. And if Lowenstein throws a good enough pass, he'll get it. If it's an average pass, Sam has proven for many years he'll defend it. On the other side, a little bit of the inexperience for Yarnick, and you're seeing growth already in that. So that's their plan. Richland's right now, their plan, get in the end zone. Let's make this a ball game.
All right, so Richland with a little momentum going on here. They take first and 10 from the Central 12-yard line. 2:06 remaining here in the first quarter on an absolutely beautiful night in Roaring Spring. Penna going to hand off to McCracken. McCracken picks his way over the left side. McCracken tries to turn the corner, gets taken down for just a short game. He got over the 10-yard line to about the 9.
I got to tell you, for Evan, I'm not a fan of him turning it back in there. He's fast enough. Let's make this a race. Let's get your right arm out there in this case since he's on the left side of the field and see if that guy can get enough momentum to fight off your stiff arm. Just let your speed be your tool, not your cutback. When you cut back, by definition, you're slowing down, and he's got an advantage in terms of speed.
All right, so second down and 6 upcoming for Richland. Down to 1:27 and counting here in the first quarter. Penna going to back to pass. Penna going to chuck it now. Penna turns the corner. Penna dives for the goal line. He will be short. And the ball is taken to about the 2-yard line. That should be enough for a first down. We'll see where they spot it.
I tell you, I think for a moment Sam had a man open in the middle of the field, but because he was rolling right and because of the pressure, he didn't have the arm in a position to pull the trigger, I don't think.
And I kind of like the quick decision. He made the decision, I'm going to run it. And he might have enough for a first down. I think they're going to spot it just short. So 3rd and 1 upcoming. Yep, they're going to.
Yeah, that should be a first down.
It should be a first. It's first and goal now.
I still think that mark might be a little short of where the ball actually was, but it's definitely a first down. So.
All right, so first and goal coming for the Rams.
I think it's time for Graydon Lewis here.
We have a minute remaining in the first quarter. Richland looking for the equalizer. They will go I formation with McCracken in the backfield. Penna in the gun. Going to fake the handoff, rolls out to his right, throws back over the middle, has a man in the end zone. There's Ethan Box for a Richland Ram touchdown. Penna to Box from 2 yards away.
Was that Ethan? Was that 14 or 44?
Ethan Box.
It was Ethan Box.
Yeah, 14,
Good job,
big man. I tell you, that was the tightest of windows. A collective hold-your-breath moment for the coaching staff that Sam Penna fit that in there. For a second, you weren't sure who had the ball, the defender or the Richland receiver.
All right, so it is going to be Noah Ritko looking for his first successful attempt of the year. He's 0 for 1 on the year. This will tie the ball game. Good snap, good hold, kick is up. And it is going to be good. So Noah Ritko puts the Rams in a tie ball game, 7-7 here from Central. What a drive by the Rams.
I don't do a very good Brandon Bailey impersonation, so I'll just tell you what that conversation is as Sam comes to the sideline. Nice pass, don't do that again. All right? You made a great decision that it wasn't open. You ran just a moment ago. Make the same decision. And then, but enough faith and hats off. I'll tell you what. That's a hard enough catch because you're moving in different directions. You're running to a zone thing that you had a defender that close and get fingertips on the ball that Ethan Box. Sometimes that helps, right? Sometimes it's the easy ones that are hard to catch. That was a heck of a catch by Ethan Box.
Right, so Richland answers the score. 46 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
That's his second catch of the night. I want to point out he had one out in the flat on our first possession where he ended up just short of the first down, but he picked up like 13 yards. I'm sure right now, as Central's trying to figure out how to answer this, the question is, who the heck is Ethan Box? Because he was not a significant part of the offensive performance, although he had some nice blocks and certainly some good defense in the first game. That's part of the charm for the Rams, right? That even if you think you've accounted for everything, there are weapons out there, and you haven't seen a whole lot of Austin Yarnick yet, and Austin Yarnick is arguably the second or third fastest kid on the field right now.
Yep. Ethan Box listed as 6'2", 205 pounds, so pretty big kid. You gotta account for him. All right, it is Noah Ritko who is going to kick it away here for the Richland Rams.
So you look for a spot kick when Noah's in there. He's going to find somewhere that he wants to place it down, try to expose a weakness.
And he's going to kick this one away. Ball picked up at about the 15-yard line. And Richland does a nice job, holds him to about the, maybe just over the 30-yard line. That was number 1, Jacob Benton, on the return. So we'll see where they spot the ball. They'll spot it at the 31-yard line of Central. Only 37 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. A very very eventful first quarter.
You haven't seen Central try a whole lot in the way of a deliberate run at this point. You would think to settle in now that maybe they hand one off here and see what they have on second down if they can bust one off. But the Ram defense has got to be stout.
Going with the 2-back set here, both carring Hohenstein. And it will be Hohenstein who rolls out to his left. Hohenstein looks back, throws over the middle, and that's going to go over the head of the intended receiver. That was number 10, Dalton Metzger.
And to his credit, it was Austin Yarnick on the... yes, it was Austin on there? Yes, it was. And again, I think Metzger had a step, but while the ball was in the air, Yarnick was able to close that gap. And as it was, the ball was overthrown. And part of that, again, good pressure from the Rams, both up front and linebackers that may or may not be going. He had to make the decision, and the timing in that can be really, really tough.
All right, brings up second down and 10. Down to 30 seconds in the first quarter here. Empty backfield now for Hohenstein. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein throws quickly out to his right, and Lingenfelter shakes the tackle and gets over the 50-yard line, pushes his way over the 45-yard line.
Well, that's on Sam Penna. He came in high. He got caught in that spot where he thought for a moment he could knock the ball away, but once the ball was going to beat him, he's got to get back down around the waist. He's not going to be able to wrap his arms around a guy around his numbers and pull him down. And even if it means wrapping around the waist and holding on for help, he was physically able to fight to that because Sam tried to tackle him at shoulder length instead of around the hips. But again, part of that, at first he was going ball. He's got to make the decision to defend the tackle first, and then take those chances in the right moment.
All right, ball at the 43-yard line now of Richland, as that will be the end of the first quarter here from Roaring Spring. Richland Rams and the Central Scarlet Dragons tied here at 7. Jim, you want to run down the sponsors?
I'll do some of these.
There you go. So there's 34 sponsors. We can't do this Richland Football Network without them. We thank you. You can still get in. Just contact PJ McGowan, but take it away, Jim Penna.
And I will say, as the president of the Boosters, there's so much of what we do for our players in our community is made possible by sponsors like this. So thank you very much to our friends at First Summit Bank, Best Window, Chan Soon Sung Medical Center, the Ponchione Financial Group, the Advanced Office Systems, Cardellino Eye Care, FWF, and an Erie Insurance Provider. Pinnacle Chiropractic Spine and Sports, Nico's Restaurant, Rizzo's Italian Restaurant, Dean Jordan, Goodyear Tires. Also our friends at the Johnstown Construction, Sporting Good Discounters, Flair of Country Catering, the Fifth Bar and Grill, DB Homes, FX Screen Printing. Maybe I'm going to come back to FX in a moment here for you on something that's going on. Slovenian Savings and Loan, the Laura Auto Group, Precious Metals and Diamond Company, Beauty Lawn, Dr. Edward D.L. DiMartino. I think I know that guy.
Okay, yeah.
Mahalco's General Contracting, and finally our friends, State Senator Wayne Langerholt, a sponsor. Thank you very much, Senator. Memorial Chevrolet, RPM Signs, Advantage Auto Service, Ashbro Landscaping and Curbing, Roof Rejuve, Vantage Physical Therapy, Asiago's Restaurant, Tap 814 Bar and Grill, Market Basket Grocery Store, and First Team Advertising. I think maybe, while we have a quick second, PJ's observations on the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
Is he in a spot for
I'm
that?
not sure if he's got his mic on. He's having problems, a little bit of problems down there with breaking up. So I think he might have turned it off and just having a chat with Brock Batchy. It looks like on his sideline there, and his son Ryan McGowan, who is not dressed for tonight's game. We're hoping Ryan comes back and Brock comes back really, really soon. 1st and 10, just underway here in the second quarter. First play. Hohenstein in the gun. Hohenstein getting some pressure. Hohenstein has to roll it to the left. Hohenstein getting some. He is brought down by Jordan Nichols from behind.
I'll tell you what, the back stepped up to make a block on Jordan Nichols and might want to reconsider his career. Jordan Nichols, he didn't get to the quarterback. He destroyed that blocker. Hohenstein had to evacuate the pocket. Then other pressure came hard. And Jordan Nichols steal from the backside. That's how fast he is and determined. Close from the backside to be part of that at the end of that play.
Hohenstein still picks up a yard, 2nd and 9.
And that he dove for.
Absolutely. Great pressure by the Rams. Hohenstein will hand us off to Rule. Rule tries the left side and gets taken down there. A nice tackle made by Hayden Lucas. Gets chopped down short of the 40-yard line. Make it to 41.
You know, it's probably worth pointing out, they had a couple of receptions early on in that last play they had against Sam. A decent chunk of yardage has come on their ability to break tackles, not on the design of their play or anything special that's going on here. And if Richland becomes more sure in their tackling, that certainly is going to eat into the offense they're able to put out there.
All right, 3rd and 7 upcoming here for Central. They're at the Ram 41-yard line. Back to throw goes Hohenstein, looking for Lingenfelter, has him out in the flat, and missed tackle again. Sampana couldn't grab the legs, and Ethan Box gives him a shove out of bounds, but not before he gets to about the 9-yard line. It's going to bring up a 1st and goal for Central.
You know, sometime when you're playing basketball, Ed, you have to make up your mind when the guy's bigger than you that you can't defend him once he has the ball. You're going to have to be more aggressive to deny the ball to him, and I think that's going to have to be a decision that our defensive backs are going to have to make, because, again, contact short of the first down and then a big gain after it. Now, a little tougher on that one, open field on that. That wasn't quite the same as the sideline pattern there. I don't know. Sam got a hand on him, but I don't know if I'd call that as much a broken tackle as some of the other ones. But even so, that's going to be the choice they're going to have to make.
All right, so 1st and goal from the 8 for Central. Tied ball game here, 7-7, with 10:29 remaining in the second quarter. Hohenstein going to throw the ball to the left corner of the end zone. Pass will fall incomplete. There's a flag on the play. I think it's going to be pass interference called here on the Rams on Sam Penna. We'll see if that is the call.
I can't imagine that it's not. Look, their offense at this point is, we're bigger than you. Let's just see what happens when we get the ball down there. So that'll be against the Rams. That's half the distance, right?
Yes.
So still a 1st and goal situation, but from the 4, a little bit more likely that this quarterback starts to do a rollout with a run-pass option with the idea that he might take it the first time himself to see just how many yards they can get. The pressure up the middle might be key here for the Rams.
All right, so 1st and goal from the 4. And Central is going to get ahead and call a timeout here. Flag on the play. But I thought Central called a timeout. But the side judge over here threw a flag. Illegal substitution called on Central. So illegal substitution, Jim. This would be a 5-yard penalty.
Well, and that's why they're attempting to call the timeout, but they had already. You try to get that timeout in. Once you're cognizant of the fact you've made the illegal substitution, you try to get that timeout in there. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Doesn't that timeout?
What's that, PJ?
Doesn't that timeouts?
No, they won't apply that timeout.
They won't force
on
the
them.
timeout.
They will say that it was a dead penalty. The ball was dead prior to the timeout because of the penalty. So that actually negates the pass interference call and actually is a net for the Rams on those last 2 plays. Still 1st and goal, still from about the 9, right?
Yep, they netted a yard as the drive started on the 8-yard line. Now back to the 9. Still 1st down and goal. 10:24 remaining here in the second quarter.
You're only going to be able to throw that fade on Sam so many times. So you're either going to have to break that off and turn it into a slant and try to get him to bite, or you're going to throw the fade, he's going to be guessing, he's going to get the ball.
Yeah, it looks like they did enforce the timeout.
They did enforce it.
Yeah, they did enforce the timeout because Central is huddled on the sideline. Richland now heading over to their sideline to make some adjustments. But a good ball game here so far, 7-7. I'm interested in the game, Jim, happening down in Bedford, as Forest Hills and Bedford are playing tonight.
Well, we made the observation on the way down here, the way those two teams can and prefer to run the ball, that's a game that could be over in 35 minutes. And, that game has the potential of being a nail-biter or a blowout all in one. I think Bedford clearly the favorite in that, but Forest Hills certainly capable, as we well know, of making it a ball game. This first down play is big. I mean, all first down plays are big, but from a Central standpoint, their success has been Hohenstein throwing it quickly and getting a completion, guy breaking a tackle, or getting a penalty. And when he's had to hold back there, our defensive backs have been able to hold, and the speed of some of the guys we've got flying to the ball, they've been able to put some pressure on them and still contain them. That'll be the challenge.
Forest Hills and Bedford is 0-0 in the second.
So 0-0, there you go. So a good game happening down in Bedford, a 0-0 game as they are in a second quarter there as well.
There was a while there where there were a lot of teams considering coming into the Lower Highlands Conference. We thought some were coming, some were not. And given the level of play of some of these teams, if I'm a booster president at one of those schools that we're considering it, and I hear that our athletic director is thinking about going to the Lower Highlands Conference, I call the IED and I go, why do we want to play football in the Lower Highlands Conference? Because every week, you've got somebody testing you. You've got a Guilfoyle team that finished, fifth in the conference last year that won a single A state championship. That was the fifth place team in the Lower Highlands Conference last year.
All right, so we're just about to get underway here after the timeout from Central and the penalty. Ball spotted at the 9-yard line of Richland, first down and goal. Your score is 7-7. And it will be Rule who will be in the backfield with Hohenstein. He'll set himself to the left. Hunter Smith will go in motion, fake the pitch. Hohenstein has to pitch it now. He pitches out to Smith now, who's waiting in the backfield. And Hunter Smith makes a move. Hunter Smith makes another move. Hunter Smith, a big body as he drives towards the goal line, will fall short to about the 1. So Hohenstein was looking to pass. Hunter Smith stayed in the backfield. A quick pitch out to Hunter Smith, and he takes it 8 yards down to the 1.
Well, so powerful, too, at the end of that. And there was even to show there was some contact on it. But it just looked to me as if that first man through was held with no call. The first defender came through for Richland.
All right, it's a second down and goal for the Central Dragons.
I'll be amazed if Hohenstein doesn't just keep this ball himself and try to run right off tackle.
That's what he did the first time when they scored. They're going power I formation here. And it will be Hohenstein who will just make the dive for the end zone. I don't think they're not putting up the arms yet for a touchdown. So he came short, so it's going to bring up third down and goal from the 1.
Well, at this moment, when you're on defense, you're hoping for a couple of things, right? I mean, they're so close, it's hard not to get in. You're hoping for a muffed snap, or you're hoping that Central outcoaches themselves and they try to run a pitch play that gets thrown for a loss.
All right, going back with the power I here. Hohenstein again going to try push from behind by Smith, who will push him across the goal line, I believe, yes, as a touchdown Central, as Big Hunter Smith took the back of Hohenstein and just pushed him forward.
Look, I just wouldn't be surprised in a couple of years if high school football just makes that illegal. It's not a criticism of Central here tonight. It is what it is. It's perfectly legal, and you got to be able to defend it. But by the same token, it's just too easy to lean into your guard, have your guard stand up, don't make it impossible for that guy to fall down, then have 3 guys simply lean on him from the backside. It's impossible to keep that from happening for a yard.
All right, so it is Hunter Smith on to attempt the extra point. 1 for 1 on the evening. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and the kick is going to be good as Hunter Smith drills this one through. So 14-7, your score with 8:56 remaining in the second quarter of a good football game here at Central, or Roaring Spring we'll call it. It's not at the high school. We went over this before. If you're just tuning in, we went to probably 3 or 4 different places.
Look, if you want to get here, my advice to you is just go ahead and drive to a local elementary school and ask the custodian in the parking lot,
right?
Because that's how we got.
Right, and keep the Big Stone Church to your right. It's kind of what we got. But Jim has been here before, and as we were driving, he said, "This doesn't look familiar."
Yeah,
this just doesn't look familiar. I think we're supposed to be in some residential area, which we were not. And then finally, I think you saw a street. I remember that street.
We saw Spang Street, and Spang has a special memory for me because I got a college roommate he has an Uncle Spang, and it wasn't his name. Apparently, when he was a child in Blairsville in the 1920s, whenever the Spang bread truck would roll through, they would start screaming Spang, and he would run out and steal bread off the truck. So that became his nickname. Uncle Spang was a bread thief in the night in Blairsville.
That's so funny.
I became excited when I saw Spang Street last year, and I can recall sending a picture to my one of my college roommates. So I think the statute of limitations is run out. I think I've exposed anybody to a prosecution of bread theft in Blairsville.
Yep.
All right.
So on a kick it away is going to be Hunter Smith. 14-7 is the score now. The Central score. The Dragons just took the lead on a 1-yard plunge, his second of the night, by Jeff Hohenstein. Richland looking to answer. And back deep for the Rams, it's going to be number 2, Graydon Lewis. Kick is away. It's a low squibber. That is picked up. I think that it's trying to catch a number. That is Ethan Box, and Ethan Box will take it close to the 45-yard line. So actually a good win on special teams there by the Rams as they'll take over in good field position here. They'll spot the ball at the 43, it looks like.
Well, if the Lewis family and the McCracken family want to know if Central Cambria respects their sons, the answer is yes. That was borderline onside kick. A little too hard for that, but rather than kick it to either of those speedsters, they made the choice they'd rather have a roll and get an up man on it.
Spot the ball at the 44, first down and 10 for the Rams. Penna will be into the gun. McCracken will set himself now to the right of Penna.
I tell you, I don't know if 10 is on Yarnick or if he's on Box.
All right, handoff to Evan McCracken. Evan McCracken darts over the left side and gets to about the 45-yard line. Pushes forward still. He's still keeping those feet churning. The whistle is not blown. He is still churning those legs as he got to about the 49-yard line.
And I'd be hypocritical if I didn't point this out.
I'm with you, Jim.
Yes. I forget the yardage. I know he's not down. But, again, you got teenage boys. Once you let that go on for so long, guys start taking it personal and bad things can happen. And I just assume the whistle be blown a little too soon than too late in that moment. Even so, though, a 1-yard gain turned into a 5 or 6 for the Rams on that.
Yeah, give 5-yard, 2nd and 5 upcoming now. We are down to 8-11 and counting here in the second quarter. Richland trailing 14-7. Penna back to throw. Penna looks. He's looking. He has a man wide open. That's Graydon Lewis at the 20-yard line. The 10. Graydon Lewis dragged down at about the 7-yard line. Nice pass by Penna. Nice reception by Lewis. And Richland has first and goal at the Central 7-yard line.
Well, we said going in, it'll be the speed of Sam's decision-making versus the speed of the rest of Central. And Sam won that one.
McCracken now will take it over the middle. Gets over the 5-yard line to about the 3. Going to bring up second down and goal.
Well, I'm not big on play calling here, but the on that handoff there, that nobody guarded Sam. If he had kept that ball and run left, he'd have been open.
McCracken again. McCracken will go into the end zone. It is a Richland Ram touchdown.
Is it?
Evan McCracken from 4 yards out.
Is this a reluctant touchdown crew here?
I saw him put his hands up on the side over there. So Richland Ram touchdown. And Noah Ritko on to look to tie the game with the extra point. So a good answer by Richland. Didn't take long, Jim, at all. Long pass from Penna to Graydon Lewis. Set it up first and goal at the 7. 2 plays later, into the end zone, Evan McCracken. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and Ritko is going to put this one through.
Splits the horns, as I like to say. Splits the horns.
Yeah, so 14-14 is your score now here. We got ourselves a ball game. I am really getting to know Ryan Robertson, by the way. He's a very handsome man, if you guys don't know him. So, yeah, Ryan and I have become good buddies. We're really squashed into this booth here in Central. Pretty tight quarters. But, Ryan, you're having a good time, bud, right?
Great football game.
Yeah, great football game. There you go.
I'm not saying these guys are standing too close. So I am saying that Ed now smells like Ryan's aftershave.
I developed a crush for him last week during the rain delay.
There There you go. Yeah, see, even PJ has a crush on Ryan Robertson. See that? That's what happens.
PJ, I don't know if you're in a position on that or not, but it looked like that defender was hand grabbing, trying to slow Graydon down. Graydon beat it off and caught the ball anyway. But I think there's a certain level of desperation for that guy trying to keep up with Graydon on coverage.
Yeah, I think just threw the perfect ball, but yeah, they're definitely desperate. I mean, whenever you can score a will, they're going to tire themselves out. So it's been fun so far.
Yeah, I agree, PJ. It's been a blast so far. 14-14 your score. Great game here from Roaring Spring as the Richland Rams come in and play the Central Scarlet Dragons. Last year's score, I believe, was like 49-13, and it was never a ball game.
We spent the better part of the first half just trying to stay close enough that it was a ball game. They eventually pulled away and owned it. So.
All right, Noah Ritko on to kick it away again for the Rams. And Ritko going to pooch this one. Ball picked up at about the 20-yard line by the Scarlet Dragons by Rule. And Rule is going to be hit down by Hayden Lucas as he gets to about the 35-yard line. First down and 10 for Central on a back-and-forth ball game so far.
Well, I tell you, it was a great tackle. Joe Penner was on the right side. He had contain. I don't know that I have the number of the blocker that came up. He found out what I found out, that if you run into Joe Penner, it doesn't go backwards very easily. And he was not happy how that ended on the sideline. So we've got some physical advantages of our own. We've got to figure out a way to get a stop and get the ball and take the lead and put the pressure on the Central offense and defense to do something other than what's going on.
All right, Hohenstein in the gun with Hunter Smith to his right. Hohenstein going to roll out to his right now. We're going to stop set. He's going to throw. Has a man over the middle, and with overthrown, he was looking for number 25, Cade Rule.
Look, that's not a bad ball. And Hohenstein, again, under pressure, had this. He slid out of the pocket beautifully, and this guy is a good quarterback. He slid out of the pocket beautifully, but he knew the red, white, and blue was coming, and he had to get rid of the ball. And that receiver, unlike Hayden Lucas, can run to that ball that's just beyond his grasp. And the coverage was good there. So that's going to be a challenge for him. Sooner or later, Hohenstein's going to get frustrated. He's just going to take off and try to get some of these yards himself.
All right, so it's going to bring up a second down and 10. Quick throw off he threw a bullet there. Looking for a man, that was number 6, Shaylin Yingling, who made a great grab at the 1-yard line earlier in the ball game.
I'm going to tell you, 2 incomplete passes in a row, and both of them were great passes. That ball was just over the hands of Luke Feitel, the only place it could be. A few inches shooter, and Luke tips that, and probably you have Austin Yarnick grabbing a loose ball and going the other way. To drop a ball with that kind of velocity into that pocket is not an easy task. Those are 2 good passes, and Central's got nothing to show for it here. You got to watch. They're going to try to get something out in the flat. They're going to try to break a tackle.
Yeah, look for Yingling on the far right. He's been the go-to man. Back to throw is Hohenstein. Looks over, and that's what he has. He has Yingling cutting over the middle. Yingling brought down as he got to about the 45-yard line of Richland. That's the man you have to watch is going to be Eli Lingenfelter, Hohenstein's favorite target. They hook up for a first down here. Big first down for the Central Scarlet Dragons.
Good pressure there. Sam had good coverage on the right sideline. You can't stick with that guy forever. And when he cut it off and broke middle of the field, Hohenstein got it out in the one moment before Sam could close. That's 3 good passes in a row. One of them turns into a first down.
All right, down to 6:53 and counting here in the second quarter. 14-14 is your score. This is Hunter Smith, who goes over left tackle and will fall short of the 40-yard line to about the 41. So about a 4-yard gain, going to bring up second down and 6.
Well, Central's a little torn here. Ideally what they'd love to do is eat up all 6 minutes and get a score, because if they give Richland plenty of time, if they manage a score and they give Richland plenty of time, and Richland can get a score, Richland will get the ball to start the second half.
They'll spot his knee down at the 42, so 2nd and 7 upcoming for Central. 2 backers now, one to the right and one to the left of Hohenstein. Hohenstein fakes the handoff, rolls out right. Hohenstein pulls up, has good pressure. Missed by Jordan Nichols. Declan Piscatella now coming on. They'll push out of bounds. It'll be Janidlo who pushes home. They're going to throw the flag. They're going to call him for a late hit along the sideline as Janidlo hit Hohenstein as he went out of bounds.
Look, I'm going to try to be fair here because I can't actually see the sideline, but when you've got a guy actively rolling, if you don't blow the whistle, you can't expect that guy to know he's out of bounds in that kind of activity.
Janidlo went low and kind of took the legs out of Hohenstein, but they'll say he was out of bounds. They threw the flag, and it'll be a personal foul. So a big penalty here called on the Rams.
It's margin. Again, I can't with the central bench right there. We can't actually see the sideline. It was not an egregious penalty by any stretch, and I suppose I would feel differently if somebody slid into Sam Penna's legs, right? But that's that middle ground where you are trying to call something on safety in terms of player safety, and a player still has to execute a play. He just fought off a tackle. The guy's still going.
Yeah, he did a good job of avoiding Jordan Nichols, which not a whole lot of people have done. Takes the ball to the 26-yard line now of Richland, 1st and 10 for Central. Hohenstein again back to throw, looking for Lingenfelter. Good pressure up the middle. He's going to go down. Zach Hancock brings down Hohenstein at about the 35-yard line. So Zach Hancock comes in and makes the play, and Zach looking really slim and trim.
Well, he's definitely going to be faster. The question's about his strength, but there's good complementary football there, right? The receiver did a quick stop. Sam jumped that right. He took that away. It wasn't a go route, and Hohenstein, to his credit, saw it wasn't there, so he had to reload, and then there was Zach Hancock.
Big 9-yard loss. Going to bring up 2nd down and 19, 5:25 and counting here in the second quarter. 14-14 your score. Hohenstein in the gun. Hohenstein again back to throw. Hohenstein rolls out right, gets some pressure again. There's a big hold. They did not call it. There was a big hold there on Janidlo that was not called. The whole jersey was torn. Now there's a flag at the end of the play, but
I'm going to go back to the penalty. So there's the instance. He's on the sideline. A Richland Ram defender eases up. We just got called for it. He cuts it back inside. How do you in that previous play, in that situation, I don't think there should have been a penalty.
Well, there's a big hold, though. Ethan Janidlo got his whole shirt grabbed right in front of the ref. I mean, we can see it from here. I'm sure Ryan saw the same thing. Play not called. They threw a flag at the end of the play.
It didn't look like there was a face mask or anything illegal on the tackle. So if they're talking,
should have been a major hold called on Central.
The guess would be if they're talking anything over and it is a hold, it's where was the ball when the hole happened. That might be what they're trying to figure out in their extended conversation. Or how can we talk this over, wave the flag, and say there was no penalty on the play? Because that's usually what happens out of this. The longer they talk, the more likely somebody's not going to be happy.
It ended up being a big gainer as the ball is over the 15-yard line as it stands right now. They're going to call it a personal foul on Richland. Sportsmanlike conduct on Richland. All right, so they miss a huge holding call.
Well,
and now they call a unsportsmanlike conduct here.
You can only presume that somebody said something on the field. There was nothing illegal on the tackle. There was nothing late to it. Nobody piled on at the end of that. We're certainly not in a position where we can hear what's going on down there. But that's I'm not saying the guy's a homer. I am saying I saw him in the parking lot eating donuts, talking to Margin Bart.
All right, so it's going to be 1st and goal after all of this. Central will have the ball at the 8-yard line. Coach Brandon Bailey not very happy on the sideline, obviously. The second week in a row now where penalties are really costing the Rams.
Look, and this is a moment defensively. If you're Declan Piscatella, if you're Jordan Nichols, where you have to decide enough and you have to make a play despite whatever's happened there. You just have to. Again, I'm joking about that. I don't think any official, right or wrong, is deliberately making a call to our detriment, but it was difficult to see how that played out that way.
All right, so 5:04 remaining in the second quarter. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for Central. Cade Rule is your running back. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein is looking for his favorite target. That's going to be Lingenfelter, and he's going to make the catch in the end zone. That will be a touchdown Central. He made a nice move and cut it back out to the right side of the end zone. Good pass by Hohenstein.
That's a terrific pass. Sam did close. He got his hands there just as the ball got there. And
really nice route, too.
In that positioning, the receiver was completely squared down, was able to fight off. Sam was unable to fight it out of his hands or even move the ball as they were going. So that's where they're going to go, to either of the cornerbacks.
All right, so after some gift yards, Central puts the ball in the end zone on a pass from Hohenstein to Lingenfelter. Hunter Smith now on to attempt the extra point. Little high snap, hold is down, it is up, and it is good. So Hunter Smith will run that through. So 21-14 is your score. Still 4:58 remaining before halftime. Richland answered pretty quickly the last time as a big pass play from Penna to Lewis, took the ball down to the 7-yard line. 2 plays later, it was into the end zone as Evan McCracken went in from 4 yards out.
And they're living on that timing, and it's not necessarily a way you can't be beat. It's difficult, and you're going to have to be perfect, but you get a couple penalties that give you first downs, and the Rams have to be careful with that, and that's you can't get them in a first and goal situation. You've got to put an end to them a little bit further away and take away that pure run opportunity for Hohenstein. Interesting thing, that last extra point going on the field goal post to our left. To the right, when they kick it, if they sufficiently kick it, they kick it into the neighborhood, into a small Cape Cod, that house that's right there. And they probably, I think to own that house, you're not allowed to have a swimming pool in the yard for fear of the number of balls that would end up wet in your backyard. So here's the challenge whenever you play both ways, Ed. In this case, Sam's had some struggles defensively. And I don't know if it's fair necessarily to label it as a struggle. Sam has been beat by a couple of quality passes by a terrific quarterback and a terrific wide receiver. And when they've had to be perfect, they've been perfect. But you can't let that wear on you when you've got to flip around then and run the offense. And it's the same thing if you're a defensive back or a lineman. If something goes wrong on one side of the ball, you've got to go right back out there. You've got a different job to do, and you've got to attack it with a clean mentality. Like you've got to move on from it.
All right, so Hunter Smith will be on to kick it away. Big chance to answer here for the Rams with 4:58 remaining before halftime.
I can't even begin to read the texts that are coming into me on the unsportsmanlike penalty and the lack of the hold call. Thank you all. Thank you. Very reaffirming.
All right, Hunter Smith going to pooch this one again. It's going to drop and picked up by Easton Robertson. Easton Robertson up over the 35-yard line. So about looks like about the 38. We'll see where they spot that ball. Richland will take over, so good job by Easton Robertson.
Easton's just a gritty guy. Regardless of what sport he's playing, just grind, and the energy level is always high. So kind of guy you like seeing out in the field.
All right, so the Rams will take over with 4:52 remaining before halftime. Your score 21-14 Central. McCracken will be the running back, and right for the moment he is to the left of Penna.
Boy, McCracken out in the flat would be nice here.
And now it is McCracken who takes it right up the gut. Maybe stopped just short of the 45 to about the 44. So good run on first down.
Look, they're peeling deep safety help back to worry about Graydon Lewis, and you got one man on there. When you see Evan box guard to Sam on that same side, the little pass out in the flat, there's an opportunity there.
Second down and 4. I'm looking at a little mismatch here, too, with Ethan Box on number 10 here, Dalton Metzger. Little size mismatch. And Penna going to make a quick swing pass out to McCracken. McCracken over the 50-yard line to 45 and taken out of bounds. First down, Richland, taken out by Lingenfelter.
And Bailey saw what I saw. They're circling deep help around so their cornerback doesn't get beat deep by Graydon. If they move somebody over there to account for Evan, Sam's going to have other options and some one-on-ones right side.
All right, so ball spotted at the 43-yard line into Central territory. First down and 10 Rams. Penna going to hand it off again to McCracken, who spins over the 40-yard line, pushes his way over the 35-yard line to about the 34.
Well, I don't know what you think, but I think when Evans spun out of that, he was expecting contact, and he didn't get any.
Didn't get it, yeah.
And had he seen that wasn't going to happen, sprinting to the right sideline, he would have been able to get around everybody there. I mean, As it is, you want to cover the ball and you want to fight for that yard, but when he spun, I'm sure he anticipated a contact from that side, and it never came.
Picks up 9 yards. Second down and 1. 3 wide receivers split out to the left.
Bailey might take a pop here.
And Penna back to throw. Penna looking over the middle, has a man over the shoulder. That is Austin York. It is a Richland Ram touchdown.
Are there any flags on the field?
34 yards. Penna to Yarnick. So again, Richland answers the bell.
PJ, that looked like a great pass, but a great adjustment by Austin Yarnick on the ball.
Yeah, too bad PJ's mic just keeps cutting out.
He's coming closer. Try again, Paige. right, so Ritko on for the extra point.
Yeah, Ritko is a perfect 2 for 2 on the evening. And it is up, and it is going to be good. So Ritko puts his third extra point attempt through. We have a tie ball game once again, 21-21. Still 3:03 remaining before halftime.
I will tell you, coming into this game, I would have said if this is a close game, what you're going to have is you're going to have the talent of one of the best quarterbacks in the state causing trouble for Richland, and Richland trying to find a way to scrap to be in this game. And I think what you've seen is the opposite. Central has found little ways, broken tackles, penalties, little ways, the improvisation of their quarterback to make something out of nothing. They have found little ways to stay in this ball game. Richland's offense, after the first possession, which it started bad, right? It was a touchdown. It got called back on an interference call, and then a snap over the head of your punter. After that, Richland has looked like a clean, well-oiled machine on this, but there are many ways to win a football game, as we found out last week and as we have found out over many years. And right now, the Rams are locking horns with a talented team on their home field and have gone toe-to-toe for one half.
All right, so it'll be Ritko on to kick it away again for the Rams. Back deep for Central is going to be number 1, Jacob Benton, and number 25, Cade Rule.
Sooner or later, you think Ritko's going to try to drop one at about the 35 and see if we can get to the ball, see if they come up and get it, and see if we get a hop.
All right, so Ritko going to kick this one. It's going to be picked up over the 20-yard line. It's a fumble, but fumbles out of bounds. So Rule came up to collect it, and it went off his arms, went out of bounds.
I tell you, he's lucky that ball went left and not right, because he was sliding out of bounds after he bobbled it. Joe Penna came down clean, and as he did with a multiple block punts last year, Joe's perfectly capable of scooping and dashing. So that's a break. I mean, you don't think anything of it, but the fact that that ball was muffed and that it rolled out of bounds instead of inside to the interior of the field is a significant break for Central.
All right, they'll spot that ball. It looks like about the 28-yard line.
Look, the Rams just need to get a stalemate here. You prefer to get a stop, but the Rams need a stalemate here.
All right, 1st and 10. Hohenstein in the gun. Hohenstein looking for his man, Lingenfelter again. Penna in coverage. Kind of a push-off there, I thought, on Lingenfelter. He stepped out of bounds. Could have been called a push-off. I think that's what Sam is saying. Good throw by Hohenstein.
Well, Sam's maintaining that he was still bobbling whenever he stepped out of bounds.
And it could be.
But there's no way to not replay, and you're not going to get that call. But that ball was bobbled, and you prefer not to give up a 40-yard chunk play on that. He's going to have to find a way to looking at tape to read that receiver and decide what he's got to do about it.
All right, so a pickup of about 19 on the play. 1st and 10 now. Down to 2:54 here before halftime. We scored 21-21. Hohenstein back into the gun. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein looks left this time. Hohenstein looking for Lingenfelter. Good coverage there by Penna. So they switched sides. Lingenfelter usually lines up on the right. This time went to the left. Sam Penna stayed in coverage. Good coverage by Sam. Ball will fall incomplete. 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
A lot to digest here is what's going on in this half. Safe. The synopsis is this is a good game.
That's
the quick version.
All right, we'll stick with 2 running backs in the backfield with Hohenstein. Lingenfelter is obviously your man that they're looking for. This time a handoff to Rule. Rule goes up the middle. Rule finds a couple of tough yards. Will fall short of they're going to spot him at the 50-yard line. So pickup of about 3. Going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Well, it'll be interesting because you are at midfield. If the Rams do get a stop on 3rd down here, given the success that Richland's had on offense, will they go for it anyway, or will they finally be forced to punt? And they've had some of their own issues on their punt team. I suspect we're going to see another one of those fades to either Yarnick's side or Penna's side to the receiver on a quick release.
Back to down to 2:12 and counting here before halftime. And Hohenstein getting some pressure up the middle. Hohenstein has to keep shaking and shimmying. He throws a pass, and Lingenfelter has it. No, that's Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith on the reception. And we have a hurt Central player. He's up. That is Rule.
Well, he's going to have to lead the field. The official blew the whistle from out there to wave him off. I think he is a little gimpy anyway. It looks like his right arm maybe a stinger in the elbow or the hand. So I don't think it looks like anything too significant, but enough that it hurt, and he's going to have to come off the field.
Hohenstein did a really nice job. There was a really good pressure by Evan McCracken and Jordan Nichols, and Hohenstein was able to keep his feet, kept rolling out, and found an open man in Hunter Smith. Ball now into Richland territory at about the 39-yard line. First down and 10. We are 150 and counting here before halftime. 21-21 is your score.
You can't help but think that they're going to be firing off the Lingenfelder again on that right side.
Hunter Smith, the lone backer in the backfield now, as Hohenstein back to throw again. Hohenstein looking right, looking for Eli Lingenfelter, who has the catch.
Well, Sam's making the case. If he's allowed to push me, how am I going to defend him? And while he's not wrong, he's not going to get the call, so he's got to figure out a way.
Yeah, Lingenfelter keeps extending his arms and pushing away Penna, and then able to adjust to the ball, make the grab.
And to Hohenstein's credit, he's able to throw that ball to just enough of a pocket that even with tight coverage, his guy's the one that's able to get it.
So ball at the 23-yard line now of Richland, down to 134 before halftime. Hunter Smith to the right of Hohenstein. Hohenstein going to hand off to Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith picks his way over the middle. Hunter Smith makes a break at the 10. He's down to the inside the 5-yard line before he's brought down. So that'll bring up a first and goal for Central. So Hunter Smith, the big running back, able to find some room, made a couple of nice moves and gets down inside the 5-yard line.
Well,
they'll spot it at the 5. So it'll be first and goal from the 5.
I'm not going to presume anything here on the touchdown, but if Central is able to score quickly, last week Richland chose to kind of just run out the clock knowing they're going to get the ball and stay in this. It'll be interesting to see that if they get a minute and 15 seconds to run an offensive play or two, whether the Rams take their shot to try to score before the half and then at the turn. So right now the priority is get the defensive stop. You'd really like to see a forced fumble here. I would suspect that Central's going to try to run the ball first.
Right, Rule now will be the running back in the backfield with Hohenstein.
Remember, that right hand was hurting when he left the field. A pop on there could help.
First and goal.
That counts as a pass.
Smith running out to the left, trying to string it out. Breaks a couple of tackles, but he's brought down from behind Jordan Nichols, along with number 34, Joe Penna, and number 77, Zach Hancock, for basically no gain on the play. Going to bring up second down and goal.
That's going to count. That'll go into this.
And we're down, Jim. I mean, we're 24 seconds and counting before halftime.
I don't see how that's possible. That play took 40 seconds.
Hohenstein to throw. Hohenstein looking a little inside move, and he finds Lingenfelter in the end zone for another Central touchdown. So a quick little slant to find his favorite target, Eli Lingenfelter, who's having a big game tonight. Down to 13 seconds before halftime as Hunter Smith on to attempt the extra point.
I think our quiet is a
snap. There's the hold. Kick is up, and the kick is going to be good as Hunter Smith has a pretty big leg. Puts it through, so 28-21 now is your score as the teams just keep trading score after score. Good drive there by Central.
Look, I don't know if I could tell you what the answer is defensively. Sam is one of our better, if not our best, defensive back there. He has more career interceptions than anybody else in the field right now, and they've got a big receiver and a quarterback with a good arm. And they're getting a little opportunity to play with contact, and they've been able to take advantage of it. There are a couple times they fell short. When they had first and goal from the 12, he came up and stopped a couple in that right corner, and this is where they've been able to get their chunks, and that'll be the challenge. So the kickoff will happen here. I doubt that the Rams will do anything too extravagant with this, and I really doubt that Central will mount much in the way of a large kickoff here.
They've been kind of either squibbing it on the ground, pooching it. That's kind of what they've done. So the up men have taken. Ethan Box took one, and Easton Robertson fielded the last one. Give the Rams pretty good field position, but that's kind of been what Central's been trying to do, try to keep it out of the hands of Richland's playmakers, and Graydon Lewis and Evan McCracken.
Well, I tell you that in addition to whether Evan or Graydon could take one, if they kick it off deep, they take off. The mistake that you're hoping they make is that they scooch one along and that Austin Yarnick's the one that catches the ball, because Austin will have to beat one man, and I don't think anybody would catch him if he does it. So you're hoping that Central's going to think about the most careful way to go about this. If I'm them, I try to pooch the ball over to Feitel. He's strong, he's athletic, he's probably not going to fumble, but he's not going to be breaking off a 70-yard run without a couple of guys miss it, and that's the safe play.
All right, so Hunter Smith on to kick it away. And they will just pooch this one. They will kick it. It will be, I think that's Joe Penna. So Joe Penna up over the 30-yard line, makes a move, and over the 35 now, pushes his way close to the 40-yard line before he's taken down. So Richland will have 5 seconds with the football.
Well, do you take the knee and get out of here and have the first one? And again, Coach Belly, perhaps 2 years ago, a lesson learned against Bedford. We had an opportunity late. We tried to go deep. They caught it and actually took it the length of the field for a touchdown. So you're going to see a couple of deep backers. And if there's a play to be made here, is if Evan McCracken can break free down the center of the field and Sam has time to throw the ball. So you're going to run guys down both sides. See if McCracken can break through the middle of the field. And he's going to roll out to his right. Sam's under a little pressure, trying to buy a little time.
Pressure, but he's just going to take us out of bounds. Smart play. And that will end the first half. Your score here is Central 28, Richland 21 in a dogfight so far. So Richland will get the ball after halftime. I'm going to run down the sponsors real quick. Well, first of all, I do want to thank our students who are helping out the production this year. It's made it so nice between Fred, PJ, and I, and Jim Penna now. We usually had to set this stuff up ourselves. We are not tech people, and we were the first ones to admit it. PJ's done a great job doing a lot of reading and try to help set up, but these students are doing it fantastic. So thank you to Stone Mangus, to Lanigan McCulty, and to Sophia Mihai. And I want to thank our sponsors real quick again, as we cannot do this without them. So thank you to First Summit Bank, Best Window, Chan Soon Chong Medical Center, Poncheon Financial Group, Advanced Office Systems, Cardolino Eye Care, FWF and Erie Insurance Provider, Pinnacle Chiropractic Spine and Sports, Nico's Restaurant, Rizzo's Italian Restaurant, Dean Jordan Goodyear Tires, Johnstown Construction, Sporting Goods Discounters, Flair of Country Catering, The Fifth Bar and Grill, DB Homes, FX Screen Printing, Slovenian Savings and Loan, Laurel Auto Group, Precious Metals and Diamond Company, Beauty Lawn, Dr. Edward L. DiMartino, DMD, Mahalco's General Contracting, Inc., State Senator Wayne Langerhoek, Memorial Chevrolet, RPM Signs, Advantage Auto Service, Ashbro Landscape Curbing, Roof Rejuve, Vantage Physical Therapy, Asiago's Restaurant, Tap 814 Bar and Grill, Market Basket Grocery Store, and First Team Advertising. And Jim, before we take a break, my thoughts of the first half is this has just been one whale of a game. We've had some iffy calls, some strange calls. Richland has to overcome that. But they are just playing. Offensively, I think they've been almost. I don't want to use the term, but they've posed a lot of problems for Central.
They've been remarkably efficient. They have. If you want to point to a single biggest play of the game, in my mind, there were two. The opening touchdown for the Rams that got called back, and then on second down and 20, when clearly there was an offensive holding, it not called, and then it ends up being a unsportsmanlike call on the Rams. That's probably a 33-yard swing. You're probably looking at second or third down and 40 for Central, and I doubt that they convert that. It's close. So the margin of error is very tight for both teams. Richland's got to do better on defense. In particular, they're challenging Sam. He's got an answer to it. That said, I want you to think about this, how close this has been for Central. If Lingenfelder drops one of those balls, like if he doesn't make every catch when that ball's in the pocket, even with tight coverage, if he drops one of those balls, they're out on downs and we're getting a turn. Richland with an opportunity to get the ball. It's sort of a hackneyed saying, but it very well could be whoever has the ball last wins this, or whoever has the will to go for two.
Yep, that's I was just going to say that, Jim, is do you want to go for two and take that chance? That's going to come later in the game. This is the way this is going to play out. I think this game goes down to the very end. The way it's being played out right now, it goes down to the end, and who has the guts to make that call? Do you want to go for the win and go for the two? Do you want to take the extra point? Both kickers have been great on extra points tonight. Not even close to missing them. Great snaps, good holds, good kicks. Who's going to take that chance? We're going to find out. We have a whole half of football left to go, and we're going to get and step aside, take a break. So if you're at home and you're listening, go ahead and get a drink, relax, and we'll see you back here probably in about 10 minutes or so. We'll be back. You are listening to the Richland Ram Football Network. All right, welcome back to Roaring Spring. Getting ready to start the second half. Richland trails this one 28-21. It's been a very eventful football game. Lots of firepower on both sides. Let's look at the central side of the ball here, Jim. I mean, we knew it was going to be a lot of Jeff Hohenstein. We knew it was going to be a lot of Hunter Smith. We knew it was going to be a lot of Eli Lingenfelter. I've seen less of the Hunter Smith side of it. I've seen more Hohenstein to Lingenfelter, and Richland having a hard time stopping that combo.
Yeah, and I guess the best way I would describe it is, any of you who watch football on a regular basis, you see that goal line play, that fade play where you're just trying to create a jump ball between your guy and their guy and have a quarterback that can throw it in a spot where your guy can get it. That's basically the offense they've run, only they've run it up and they've run it from the 20-yard line, from the 50-yard line, from the 40-yard line. They've had success with it. Sam has gotten beat. Sam Penna. They've made the reception even when Sam has had excellent coverage. That's how good the pass has been. Yep. And let's keep in mind, Lingenfelter has a big physical advantage over that defensive back. That said, I think the only answer for Richland is increased pressure on Hohenstein. They're going to have to take some more chances with some more guys to make him throw that pass a tick sooner, make him guess to be right, or make him hold it or get out of there and then get to him when they flush him. What they can't afford to do is flush him out, be held, tackle him, and then have a unsportsmanlike penalty tacked on at the end of it. That was a big opportunity, and I think if Richland ends up losing this game, and it's one of these things where the last team with the ball wins, I think they're going to be able to point to that and wonder if they would have executed better in that moment if they win. On the flip side, if Richland manages to get the upper hand here and win the game, Central's going to look back when they had first and goal at the 12 and a chance to have a 2-score lead and did not score.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm going to point out, and he's my son, so I feel at liberty to do this. As much as the success that they've had on different parts of the field in that pass against him, he stopped two in the corner in that. He was a central part of that stop. Richland's got to find a way. I think some of that is without exposing themselves to that center screen, they're going to have to get some pressure up the gut and make him get out of there right. If they get him off his feet, he's not going to be able to make that throw, and then we can see what happens. Yeah, Richland's got to keep doing what they're doing on offense.
I was going to say, on the other side of the ball, we're going to talk about the offenses now. Richland been able to move the ball a lot quicker than Central has. Central has had to utilize a lot more time off the clock on their drives. Richland gets the ball. Let's face it, Jim, it's 5-6 plays later. It's in the end zone, getting some big plays from Sam McCracken, or Evan McCracken, and big plays from Hayden Lucas. Sam Penna just having a whale of a ball game tonight. They're doing a really nice job of moving the football. Central having a hard time stopping the Richland Ram offense, and Richland getting very big chunks of yards. And they're going to want to do the same as they come back here to start this half. We'll see what kind of adjustments that Central makes, and I don't know what they can do because it's just so hard to cover. You've got speed everywhere.
And Sam's
made
excellent choices on where the ball is going. Richland to receive here, and I want to talk for a moment about one defensive absence tonight that I certainly think has proven to play a role. And we'll get to that after the kickoff.
All right, so we have Hunter Smith on to kick it away. For Central, back deep for the Rams is going to be number 2, Graydon Lewis. And we are underway here in the second half. Picked up by the up man and fumbled, but back on it is Easton Robertson. So did a good job. Kind of muffed it a little bit, but was able to jump back on it over the 30-yard line to about the 32, where Richland will take over. They're going to spot it at the 33, it looks like. So good recovery by Easton Robertson. I think Ryan might have had a little bit of a panic attack next to me here, but it's okay. It's all good. He jumped on it, and we're all good. So Richland starts out 1st and 10.
I had full faith there. Like I said, he's gritty. He just wasn't going to let the other team have that ball.
All right, Penna in the gun with McCracken to his left. And it will be McCracken who gets the handoff, and good tackle made there by number 72. That is Caden Schenk. He was able to wrap up McCracken, and McCracken comes off limping. This is not a good sign for Richland as Evan McCracken leaves the field with a little bit of a limp. Hopefully he's going to be okay. He had problems last week with cramping, and let's hope that's all that this is.
Well, we got to get a man on the field. That'll be Jude McGarrett.
Down to 11:27 here.
Jude's a sophomore.
In the second quarter.
And I tell you,
or second half.
Jude is nearly as fast as Evan McCracken. He's part of the 400 relay team. So good speed depth to go in there.
Going to be handoff to Graydon Lewis, tries the right side, cuts back over the 40-yard line. Over midfield, first down, Richland. Graydon Lewis doing some hard running as he gets to the 45-yard line.
Graydon Lewis, he didn't make a juke more than 6 inches either way and managed to not have anybody get a paw on him for the first 4 yards of that run, and it was crowded. That's a terrific vision run for Graydon Lewis.
All right, so first down Rams from the 45-yard line.
Little score update. Bedford 12, Forest Hill 0.
All right, so 12-0 was 6-0 a little bit earlier in the ballgame, so 12-0 Bedford.
See if we can find out what's going on with Evan McCracken is the question right now, whether we're dealing with more cramping. Evan's coming out now, so.
Yeah, it looks good. Graydon Lewis takes this one off of right tackle and gets to about the 48-yard line. So pick up of 3, 2nd down and 7 upcoming for the Rams. Good to see Evan McCracken coming back in. He had a big problem last week, Jim, with cramps. And
well, two-way player, and he's got that finely tuned, Porsche engine, and sometimes he's got to go in the shop. So.
Yeah, it's a nice warm night. Beautiful night here in Roaring Spring. My first trip here, I kind of enjoyed it. We saw a lot of it. Sam Penna back to throw. Sam Penna going to chuck it in and run. Sam Penna, next move over the 50-yard line, gets hit by number 32, Hunter Smith, who puts him down, but not until Penna gets to about the 48-yard line of Central. Going to bring up a 3rd down and about 3.
Well, that was a nice run. And again, we're in tight quarters in the press box, so I couldn't see very far to my left. I don't know if he ended up when he broke past the first guy and he was still behind the line of scrimmage, if there was anybody open out in that left down sideline, but he made up his mind he was going to pick up something and get out of there. So I would think that the Rams, given the game the way it's gone, are in 4-down territory here.
All right, so big 3rd down and 3. Penna going to roll out to his right. Penna going to chuck it. He gets caught from behind. That's a big loss on the play. And that is Hunter Smith who brings him down. So Hunter Smith making himself known on defense here as the ball comes all the way back to the Richland side of the field.
Well, that's some speed for Hunter Smith, and he came through untouched. I don't know if that was by design or if he just beat a man, but Sam never had a chance to pull the trigger on that. So the Rams are facing a 4th down situation. The first huge play of the second half for the Rams.
4-yard loss, 4th and 7 now. And Richland will go for it. Let's see if they try to run maybe a freeze play here. Penna checks the sideline, McCracken to his right.
I think you're going to see some Yarnick left sideline.
All right, so big play. Penna back to throw.
Screen. No.
Penna going to throw. He gets hit as he throws, and off the fingertips of Hunter Smith. Penna got drilled.
Well, they were going for the deep ball.
They were going for the deep pass, and a good pressure by Central right up the gut.
See how Sam's getting up. He took that high across the chest, and I don't think quite in the face, but it was hands up, and you're trying to block the ball, and they came down hard right in his grill, and he's clearly moving a little slowly right now. That's a big stop for Central.
And hopefully Sam's okay. He's got to stay in defense here. Eli Lingenfelter did a really sportsmanlike thing and came over and made sure Sam was okay.
Well, I think he recognized, again, I don't think it was a deliberate blow, but you get your hands up and you're trying to swat the ball and then you bring it down. You see it all the time in the NFL where that comes down, you hit the guy in the face, and it's a penalty. I don't think he caught him in the face here, but clearly it was like a hand blow to the, just below the throat and the upper body. And nobody out here is trying to hurt anybody, and I think he recognized that he had that kind of contact. So you got a timeout by Central, and this is right now arguably the biggest possession of the game for them.
Yeah, that was a big stop by Central. Richland was rolling. The last 3 possessions ended up in 3 touchdowns. They answered every score that Central put up and could not answer that one. Central did a fine job defensively. A big stop, a big loss on 3rd down and 3. Turned into a 4th and 7. And
I can't tell you how big it is that Evan McCracken had to leave the field there. That helped set up that situation. Now he came back out before it was over, but you had a down where you didn't have to worry about a guy that could score, and you could sell out, and they managed to stop it. So the little things can make a big difference. Now the Rams, who have had trouble getting a stop, are going to have to find a stop here. They can't afford to go down by 2 scores.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of adjustments they made. Like I said, most of the first half was a lot of Hohenstein to Lingenfelter. Not a whole lot of running, it seemed like, except when he got to close to the goal line. It's been a lot of pass plays to Lingenfelter using that size. And Penna will be out there on Lingenfelter right in front of us out the booth. 2 running backs around Hohenstein. Hohenstein back to throw, looking for Lingenfelter. Quick throw out, has the man. The Penna this time will wrap him up as he gets to the 45-yard line. So a short gain
Again, I'm going to point out to the brother of Lower Highlands. A good tackle by Sam, good reception there. All those guys helping each other out at the end of that play. So a good level of respect. That's the wrap up he missed early on a down for them early in the game that can help get them a first down. And focus on those little things or something that's going to help the Rams get this done if they're going to find a way.
All right, ball spotted at the 44-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 6.
Somebody's got to make a play here. We need a negative play for the Dragons.
They'll stay in the same set. Now Smith will sprint out to the left, and it'll be Hohenstein on the keeper. Hohenstein gets over the 40-yard line before he's brought down. Number 6, Evan McCracken, along with number 5, Sam Penna, bring him down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and short.
Again, you're looking at 4-down territory for Central, and again with a quarterback like Hohenstein, you're going to run this ball right side to him. You're going to line up on that center guard thing, and he's going to slide into the right. You're going to get the first down. Right now, they'd certainly be content to turn this, even if they don't get a score, if they can turn this into a 6-minute drive, they'd have the upper hand. So I would suspect conservative play calling, either a run or a quarterback run pass option. Richland's got to find a way to penetrate and make something happen.
All right, 3rd down and a yard. Hohenstein going to hand this off to Rule. Rule will pick up the first down as he gets over the 35-yard line. So Cade Rule able to pick up a first down. We're down to 7:04 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Your score here is Central 28, Richland 21.
You know, in a game like this, every play is so important, but for possessions for Central, first down is a key down for Richland. They've got to get a 0 or a negative play on Central and force them to do something more than just let Hohenstein run right or dump off right.
All right, ball spotted at the Richland 33-yard line. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein looking, fakes. And now he's going to find a big rush. He threw the ball. I thought he was down, though. And I think now they're going to say he was up.
That's clean, but the ball was tipped and a lineman caught it.
I thought he was wrapped up, and I thought the sack should have been blown dead. He got the ball off. It was tipped, but still a loss on the play, a big loss on the play. Puts the ball all the way back to the 42-yard line.
I agree on that. Clearly the whistle didn't blow, though. That was an opportunity. Yep. That was a loose ball. Hohenstein made a bad choice there to try to throw that ball. And if Richland can apply the pressure and force a bad choice and have that ball land in Sam's hands or Graydon's hands or Jordan Nichols' hands, you might see it. You suspect they're gonna do another fade here, left or right?
2nd and 18 after the 8-yard loss. Hohenstein back to throw, getting pressure again. Zach Hancock, he's going to flip it here to Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith over the 40-yard line, 35. Gets hit down at about the 30.
All right, there is no way 58 is 10 yards downfield blocking that defender on that little screen pass without that being an illegal man downfield.
Yep.
There's no way that guy waited for the ball to be thrown or caught and got down there. He's down there blocking a guy at the 30-yard line.
So very interesting. Last week we got a illegal man downfield on a 2-point conversion, which was bizarre in itself, and now we have one way down the field and not called here either.
That was an interesting pass too. That's a design.
It was a little shovel pass,
basketball, like a foul ball, like a foul shot. You know.
So after the 10-yard pickup, 3rd down and 8 upcoming for Central. Hohenstein going to roll out, getting some pressure again. Here comes Zach Hancock. And Hohenstein going to throw. It is picked off! It is picked off! That is Evan McCracken, and he's going to go to the house. Evan McCracken will take this all the way to the end zone. It is a pick 6. Hohenstein again made a poor decision. Last time he got away with it. This time he does it. Evan McCracken takes it all the way to the end zone, and Richland goes back on the board.
I tell you, 2 things. Number one, if Evan McCracken gets the ball in open field, save your energy, go get a power ball and be ready for the kickoff. He's going to score. Number 2, what we say 45 seconds ago. Under pressure, create pressure, get the opportunity, and maybe that ball can land in one of the skill hand guys that we have. And in that case, it happened.
Yep, 2 bad decisions by Hohenstein on this particular drive.
We'll see if we can recall after the kick, but a lot of front pressure from a number of guys in white on that play.
All right, so Noah Ritko on to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is going to be good. So Ritko perfect again on the evening. We have a 28-28 ball game with 4:53 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Richland's pressure coming up the gut. Hohenstein made 2 really poor decisions. One he got away with. That one he didn't. He threw it right in the hands of Evan McCracken in open space and gone for the touchdown.
He needed to lay down. He's got a lead. That was 3rd down, right?
It was 3rd down and 8.
And the thing is, it's not so easy to take a knee, especially when you're a guy that's used to being able to run from trouble. But when trouble's coming at you from 3 different angles and 2 of them have closing speed that are equal or greater than yours, the decision has to happen quicker.
Yeah, it was Zach Hancock bringing the heat. And Zach, again, looks a lot trimmer than I remember Zach Hancock, but a lot quicker. And he was right on top of Hohenstein, created all that pressure on him. Hohenstein made the poor decision to throw the ball, and there was Evan McCracken in open space. So Richland goes on the board with a defensive score. Winber up big on Tussey Mountain. It looks like 49-0 at the end of the third quarter there. So Winber off to a good start on the year.
I know I should care, but I'm so wrapped up what's happening to me right now, and I don't know that I do care. That
is fine.
Does that make me an awful person?
We want to keep everybody well informed as best as we can. It'll be Ritko on to kick it away for Richland after the Evan McCracken pick 6. And Ritko going to put this one a little bit deeper, picked up just shy of the 20-yard line. This is Cade Rule. Cade Rule finds the seam as he goes up the middle. Nice tackle made. Maybe a touchdown-saving tackle by Sam Penna.
I don't think there's any doubt. That was a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah.
If he manages to run out of his arms, there's no one in the vicinity. He had a full head of steam.
Cade Rule found that little seam right up the middle and able to take it. And good pursuit by Sam Penna brings him down. Shy of the 45-yard line, looks like. So spot the ball at the 44-yard line of Central. Good field position to start this drive. 28 your ball game here right now. 4:46 remaining in the third quarter.
We said both defensive coordinators were probably going nuts at halftime. They couldn't stop either quarterback. Both quarterbacks had been stopped. Sam got hit under pressure, was lucky the ball didn't end up on somebody. Hohenstein got hit. We got it, and it's a score. Both teams have decided it's time to pressure these QBs a little bit more than we have.
All right, Hohenstein back to throw again. He's going to fake the quick throw. Getting pressure again. There's going to be a hold, I think.
Run backwards.
It should be a hold here coming up to Central as Hohenstein throws out to Hunter Smith. And he is knocked down there by number 6, Evan McCracken, and number 2, Graydon Lewis. This should be a hold here on Central.
I'm going to give you on Sam's defensive coverage here. They had a stop and go set there on that receiver on the right side. Sam offered up a lot of cushion, and when the kid offered to stop and go, Sam broke. Sam was the open receiver. Lingenfelder did a good job recognizing if he lets that ball go now, the defensive back has full vision of the ball. He doesn't have the advantage of the blind side. He did a good job not throwing that football. The hold had already happened. Anything he tried to do after that, I would guess that Lingenfelder didn't see the flag. Had he saw the hold flag had been thrown, he's liable to have just taken a knee to try to get out. A big moment here for Richland here, first in a long time.
Yeah, first and 24.
Timeout Richland. Timeout Richland.
So we're going to call, timeout. Is going to be called here.
Graydon Lewis ran off the field. I don't know if he's fearful that we have too many men or if there was an equipment problem, but Graydon Lewis ran to the sideline, and Coach Rip quickly called timeout.
All right, so we want to thank our students again. They've been helping us out here. I said we are so not tech people, and them bringing them on this year and having them kind of help us. We just have to show up now, and they do it all. So thank you to Stone Mangus, to Lanigan McCulty, and to Sophia Mihai. And we are going to get Stone on the air. Trust me. If you're not familiar with Stone Mangus, you will be very, very soon. He does a fantastic job. I think you do some basketball games, play-by-play for Richland basketball, and he's fantastic. So in a little while, we will get Stone on and get his thoughts on what's going on in this game. A big change from last year's football game, and when Central came into Richland, it was a 49-13 game. It probably wasn't even that close. And now 1 year later, I know we both had turnovers on each as you graduate players, but this has just turned into a whale of a football game, a 28-28 here.
Look, Hohenstein, if he doesn't get a clean look right away, he's going to run around and try to make a long play here. Richland's got to hold contain, not hold defensively, and see. All
right, so the ball all the way back to the 30-yard line of Central. They took the kickoff to the 44-yard line, and after the holding call on first down, takes it all the way back to the 30. Little huddle by the referees.
One thing we didn't mention, Brian McGowan's not playing in this ball game tonight.
Yep, and that's a huge loss for the Rams.
And if we're going to give an honest football evaluation, I would tell you that I think Sam is the better cover man than Ryan, but Ryan is larger and much more physical, and these receivers haven't gotten open on Sam because they've outmaneuvered him. They've been able to use their body size either with arms or just with jump balls to win that battle, and I don't know that they could beat Ryan on that battle.
This is interesting. They made Graydon Lewis come off of the field. As you said, he was coming off there, making him stay on the sideline. That's what the holdup is here. As Graydon Lewis was back on the field, they had him leave the field.
I'm not sure of the rule. Graydon ran the whole way off the field before the timeout.
So they're going to go ahead and...
new player in is 24.
Looks like that is number 24 for the Rams. That is... Let's check out the number. That is Cody Yeager.
Okay, so you have to... Cody's a fine ball player, but you're going to have to slide Ethan Box over to help Cody up over the top.
Hohenstein throws a quick backward pass. Now it's going to be a forward pass after that. And that's going to be down the field for a big play. So Lingenfelter is going to make the pass. I think that's number 18 on the reception. So a little...
double pass.
A little trickeration to Jason Clark. So on a 1st and 24 place, Central able to pick up the first down into Richland territory.
And I'll tell you, the lack of Graydon Lewis, while he wasn't directly involved in the play, made those defensive backs bite up thinking they needed support Cody, and then it turned into a double pass.
So, yeah, it was a backward pass there by Hohenstein to Lingenfelter. Lingenfelter throws the pass down the field. First down at the 42-yard line of Richland for Central. And a rough snap. And here comes Kevin McCracken from behind. And he puts him down. No, that's Jordan Nichols, excuse me. Jordan Nichols from behind, able to run down Hohenstein after he kind of muffed the snap.
Look, it is clearly, Central's got the upper hand here. They have the ball in an even game at home, but it is clearly Central who is trying to have to find ways to get for a halfback pass, double pass.
Yes.
Penalties. They are finding ways, and now a bobbled snap. And it was a high snap. I won't put it on the quarterback, but Richland's they've got to come up with the ball. Another turnover would be huge.
All right, so it pushes the ball all the way back to the 49-yard line of Central. And this is Hohenstein going to throw, has a man wide open. Not a great play. That was a great coverage play by Austin Yarnick, who was beat on the play.
Let's talk about the evolution
by number 6, Shane Yingling.
Of being a defensive back. In the first quarter, he did the opposite. He turned to see where the ball was, and it went over his head. This time, Beaton waited for it, waited for the hands to flash, then played the hands and knocked it away. That is a player now who is better now at football than he was an hour ago.
Absolutely. So a big play because he was beat on the play. Yingling had him beat down the field, and Yarnick did a great job. Got back there, broke the play up, going to bring up 3rd down and 19 with 3:08 remaining here in the third quarter. 28-28 your score. Hohenstein back to throw again. Hohenstein getting pressure. There's a hold again as Joe Penna was hold. They didn't call that one. And we have a pass down the field and just off the hands of number 1, Jacob Benton. I thought Joe was held. I mean, you were watching it too. I mean, he's coming in, and I thought he got the Central player had a whole handful of Joe Penna jersey.
He was held, but again, you could probably call that every time. That said, the kid Hohenstein managed to. He wanted to go left.
You can call that if he's, right. But Joe is right on top of the quarterback. He's going to make a play.
First punt of the night for Central. Sam back deep to receive.
Yeah, I would still be a little bit leery. This is Hunter Smith, who's their punter. Hunter Smith is a very big man who can run the football. So got to stay a little bit true here. Just make sure you keep your lanes. It is the 4th down and 19. And Hunter Smith is going to punt this one away.
That's short.
It's a high punt.
Fair catch called for
fair
by
catch.
Sam.
And Sam calls a fair catch and pulls it down at about the 11-yard line.
Richland with their first opportunity to take a lead in the ballgame.
Yep, so good stop there by Richland. Good, really, 2 defensive stops. One led to a pick 6 by Evan McCracken, and this one was a nice hold by the Richland Ram defense. So Richland takes over 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line. 2:52 remaining here in the third quarter. Your score again, 28-28.
I think we're going to see a quick pass to one of the sides, flare-outs, make them come defend it. You've got cushions on the wide side, tight coverage on the 2 interior receivers. Now they're backing off a bit.
All right, Penna going to hand off to McCracken. McCracken will go off of left tackle. McCracken almost breaks it. McCracken over the 20-yard line. Good gain on first down. Will come close to a first down. So good hard running by Evan McCracken. And he is going back off, limping again, Coach.
Well, he's grabbing that hamstring, but I guess it's a cramp.
Yeah, maybe a cramp. I said he had problems last week with cramping. I think he's got the same thing going on tonight.
Here's what we haven't seen called yet that might be handy here. Now, we haven't seen a design run for Penna yet. He's taken off a couple of times. The last time we did this, Graydon got the ball. Not that you don't want to give it to Graydon. It's a fine call, and it's a short yardage play. But I think if Sam fakes the handoff and goes, he might find a little bit of running room.
All right, 2nd down and 1. It is Graydon Lewis who takes the handoff, has the first down as he crosses the 25-yard line.
And I tell you, I've said it about the quarterback for Central enough tonight. The same needs to be said about Graydon Lewis. Regardless of down, if the distance is 1, you really have a chance. You're going to have to get off the ball clean and get a squared hit on the guy right away to stop Graydon Lewis. He's strong, and there's a little body turn to him when you make that contact that he keeps falling forward. We haven't seen a ball to Austin Yarning for a while, and he's got a little. His coverage man is playing him 8 yards off the ball here right now.
All right, Hohenstein is on coverage. Sam Penna rolls out to his right. Has a man. That's Luke Feitel. Luke Feitel, stiff arms, cannot get to the 30-yard line, so a short pickup on 1st down. Luke Feitel trying to use the stiff arm on Benton. Benton did a nice job of bringing him down. We are down to 1:27 and counting here in the 3rd quarter at a tie ball game, 28-28. If you like high school football, you have really enjoyed the last 2 weeks of watching Richland play. These have been 2 really fine football games.
Look, you got no McCracken out there.
All right, so 2nd down and 8. Ball at the 29-yard line of Richland. It is Graydon Lewis who tries a spin move as he gets over the 30-yard line. So a very short gain, going to bring up 3rd down and about 7. Yeah, without Evan McCracken, you can see the difference. It's going to bring in Easton Robertson now. We'll check into the game.
Look, Easton's a scrapper. He's tough with the ball in his hands, and he is a willing blocker and a boxcar back there in pass coverage.
All right, he will be the running back. He will go to the right of Penna. Big 3rd down and 7, down to 31 seconds and counting here in the 3rd quarter.
Been a while since we've seen a ball go to Ethan Box.
So Richland looking to pick up a 1st down. Penna back to throw. Penna has to run. Now Penna pulls it down, has the man, Graydon Lewis. He has the ball! Great pass by Sam Penna. Had to sprint out to the left, looking like he was going to run, not have a man. He finds Graydon Lewis wide open. So Graydon Lewis, nice job with the football. 1st down, Richland.
You know, that is not the longest play from scrimmage either team has had tonight, but that is as nice a pass on the run into a pocket and a receiver concentrating with 2 defenders closing hard. That was as good a football player as you're going to see tonight.
Yeah, nice touch pass. Finds Graydon Lewis.
It didn't look like Sam had an angle that he was going to be able to get that ball off, right?
So that is the end of the 3rd quarter in a fast-moving 3rd quarter. 28-28 is your score. And we are going to put Stone Mangus on with us right now. So Stone, first of all, welcome to the broadcast. Glad to have you.
Great to be here.
And thank you for doing all this stuff for us.
Of course.
But your thoughts on this football game. And we've seen ebbs and flows. Richland right now, with the momentum, have a chance to take their first lead in the ball game.
Well, from last year, it's such a different game because, going into the halftime, Richland, it felt like they were keeping up, and, but in this game, it feels like Central's been the team almost keeping up, but these teams very evenly matched, and it's going to be a crazy, crazy 4th quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you see some of the adjustments coming out of halftime, and Richland just decided we're going after Hohenstein.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I mean, he was torching us with him to Lingenfelter. Richland comes out, puts a ton of pressure on Hohenstein. What we haven't seen from him is making bad decisions. He made 2 on that drive. It ends up his last one made a poor decision, and Evan McCracken takes it to the house.
Yes, he did, and he hasn't been running the football well. That was something he did very well against Bishop Guilfoyle. He scored a touchdown on the ground against Bishop Guilfoyle, but he hasn't really had much success on the ground this game.
Yeah, I agree. Not doing much running, which is a little odd for Jeff Hohenstein. Maybe they see something we don't, but I think the Lingenfelter to Hohenstein has been the big play. All right, so we're going to keep Stone with us here for a little bit. Jim's taking a little break. He's going to enjoy his chance. Oh, I have something to say. We get a little chance here about PJ and Jim. So Penna going to throw. Penna has a man. Has Austin Yornick at the 30-yard line, the 20, the 25, the 10. He's in the end zone. Austin Yornick. Touchdown, Richland Rams. So Jim, just as you called, you said Austin Yornick is going to make a play. Austin Yornick wide open, takes it to the house.
I was going to let Stone talk, but my son, my Mike. That was
there you go.
a heck of a play. Look, he had time for a double move, and we said going in that it was going to be Sam's going to have to make quick decisions against the pressure, and the reality is if they're not going to get that pressure, There's too much speed on the outside, and I'll say it again. We don't even have Ryan McGowan on the field here tonight, and he's an excellent receiver who offers up speed and power.
All right, so it is Noah Ritko on attempt the extra point. He is true again. So Richland takes their first lead, 35-28. I want to say this real quick. We are missing another big piece of this Richland Ram defense. That is Brock Batchy, who hopefully will be back next week. We're going to see, but keeping the fingers crossed. But having Brock Batchy out there also makes a huge difference. They have not had him in the first 2 games this year, and Richland is holding their own, doing a fine job against a very, very good Central football team.
He is.
It's something to be said.
He is. Those are 2 terrific ball players to not have on the field right now. Hopefully the healing process allows him to come back next week. Ryan McGowan also week to week at this point. But it's safe to say, as a receiver and a defender, Ryan McGowan would be making a difference. In a game that's this close, Ryan McGowan gives you that much more. So, PJ, I know you're probably hearing some of that, and you're grinding your teeth knowing that it's on you. But the Ram sideline has to be excited right now. Their first lead in the game.
They're pumped here, but I think they're staying focused, staying on their the game plan that has obviously got them to a 35-28 game here. But seeing him out on the field as much as anybody, but it's the best. His team's picking him up more than they know.
Yeah, I want to say something real quick about you 2 dads. I could be standing next to royalty between one of you 2 because both of their sons are on the homecoming. They could be crowned king. So I just want to say I could be standing. You might be proud parents of a king.
Well, you can keep the tiara. I'll take the W tonight. That's what I'm after.
All right, so Rick Gill on to kick it away for the Rams.
Need a quick tackle here. Don't want this guy busting through.
Rule picks us up around the 20-yard line, tries the right side, cuts it back. Rule over the 35, gets close to the 40. We have an injured Ram player, though. We have an injured Ram player. It's Graydon Lewis, and this is not a good sign for Richland, who can ill afford Graydon Lewis. Little ginger on the leg. He is up. Looks and a little ginger.
So he's walking on his own. If they're going to come over and help, but he can stay on the field. Right, they're going to let him rest.
Okay, they're going to let him rest as he goes down.
So here's the experience of Brandon Bailey. He's going to have to lead Phil for a minute, right? But he knows if he lays down on the field, they can't start the game. This limits the number of plays the other team gets to run until Graydon comes off. So I don't know if that's a knee or an ankle. He did get up on his own, and sometimes, especially if it's an ankle, that passes in a moment or 2. But good time to get Evan McCracken stretched. Good time to get some Gatorade in it. And I got to tell you, on this cramping thing, the Pennas are known for their we've got remedies on. We got home remedies and everything. Sam eats tuna noodle casserole on game day. That's tradition. Joe Penna, no soda starting on Thursdays. He eats a couple of pickles, pickle juice, and a couple of bananas between Thursday and game day to try to prevent that sort of thing. So I'm buying pickles. I'm buying bananas. Evan McCracken is now on the banana pickle diet. I know that sounds gross, but hey, it is what it is.
They help, yeah, absolutely. So Graydon Lewis still down on the field. We're going to send good thoughts out to him as Richland leads in this game 35-28 in one what's proved to be a whale of a football game, but they can ill afford to lose Graydon Lewis.
Look, I don't mean to imply that Coach Bailey isn't concerned about the physical well-being of his player. He is, and he's lived that life. But he also knows there's no hurry. This guy doesn't have to drag himself from the far sideline to get to the other sideline. He doesn't have to hurry off. He's injured. He can take a moment, clear his head, clear his ankle. So definitely the right ankle. They're going to help him off. Whether he returns or not, I don't know. But certainly there's going to be some tape work on that far sideline if he's coming back in.
Yeah, very not putting a whole lot of pressure on that right ankle as he leaves the field. Starting to put a little weight on it as he goes, but
so the central trainer is working both sidelines tonight. So do you tell her, okay, tape that, but we kind of need you to hurry? You got another guy limping off over there. Jordan Nichols is hopping off on the other side. I don't know if he's cramping, but Jordan Nichols just left the field. So out on the field, let's see if we can spot. We got Cody Yeager out there right now.
Yeah, we have number 88 for the Rams in as well. So we have Dugan Chase.
Well, Dugan's a physical presence, but a younger player. And
all right, so here we go. First down and 10, 39-yard line of Central.
Lowenstein. Screen.
Some pressure, big screen play to Rule, and brought down from behind for number 34, Joe Penna.
That's right.
Who brings down Rule for a loss on the play. So good read on the screen. Joe Penna stays home, makes the play.
he closed hard on that, and good wrap up, brought him down from behind, and I'm surprised. That wasn't the kind of tackle where a guy gets hurt because he twists an ankle or a knee, but he came down with that ball in his belly with Joe on top of him. A lot of times that can knock the wind out of a player.
All right, loss of 2 on the play. It is a handoff to Hunter Smith, who tries the middle. And ball's out! Ball's out! And Richland has it, I believe, but they might say he's down. They're calling him down. The side judge over here is saying that his knee was down, which he might have been. Ball spotted just over the 40-yard line, shy of the 41. Going to bring up 3rd down and long.
Well, whether he fumbled that ball or not, whether he's down or not, it starts to create a sense of uneasiness, right? So now you got 3rd and 9. You're definitely, if you don't pick up anything here, you're probably still in a punt situation. And no Jordan Nichols out there, though. So, you've got some young guys. You need the experienced guys to make a play. Joe Penna and Evan McCracken probably in the best spot in terms of speed to try to close and do something to this quarterback.
All right, so 3rd down and 9 is Austin Yarnick on Lingenfelter. That's who he's looking for. He's looking for Lingenfelter. He's brought down from behind! Great tackle! It is sacked! And that is Joe Penna, who just comes in from behind and takes down Hohenstein. They were looking for Lingenfelter, waiting for him to break. Austin Yarnick had really good coverage on Lingenfelter. Had to hold the ball, and Joe Penna from behind takes Hohenstein down. Big loss on the play, brings up 4th down and long, and they're going to have to punt. Down to 9:46 and counting here in the ball game. Richland leading 35-28, and a huge defensive stop after Jordan Nichols has to leave. Graydon Lewis has to leave. And Richland able to answer the bell.
You almost don't want Sam to field this one here. Let's just...
They calls a fair catch. Nice fair catch. Made it to 35-yard line. So good field position for Richland to start at their own 35-yard line.
Well, the punter involved got a little contact after the kick, tried to sell it. The referee wasn't having anything of it. So Richland's got the ball at the 35 and a chance to go up by 2 scores. Now, who are the weapons? Where are you going? I mean, you still have Austin Yarnick out there.
Ethan Box
has had some success.
Evan McCracken, Jude McGarrett checking in now.
Jude McGarrett is fast, and I can tell you he doesn't necessarily have the hands of some of these other guys, but he will get open. Right now, you give this ball to Evan McCracken since he's in the ball game, and see if he can bust something free. Or that design run by Sam Penna that they haven't called yet.
All right, so 9:29 remaining in the football game. It is a handoff to McCracken. McCracken slipped a little bit. He tried to make the cut and slipped as he got over the 35-yard line.
He had a lane. He did a nice job moving laterally. He had a lane, but the footing again, when you're not used to this natural surface.
Right, it's a natural grass field, which we don't see a whole lot of this during the year, but they have a nice grass field here in Central when you can finally find the field. It took us a while, but we are here.
Tight press coverage on Yarnick. If he can beat his man, there might be something down the right side.
And there's the run, the design run to Sam Penna as he gets to the 40-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 5. So a 4-yard pickup by Sam Penna.
This is a place where you miss Ryan McGowan because Ryan is so strong. Ryan run that six-yard button hook, and you just out-physical the guy. It's hard to cover. So some choices here.
There's a size mismatch with Ethan Box up on the top corner to the far left. 3rd and 5 upcoming for Richland.
Freeze play would be nice here if they can get him to jump.
Down to 8:21 and counting here in the 4th quarter.
Sam changing the play.
And Penna back to throw. Penna looking, Penna throwing. He has Yarnick out there. Yarnick goes for the ball, almost came down with it. Good coverage there by Hohenstein. That's going to bring up 4th down and 5. And we'll see what Coach Bailey decides to do. I think he's going to bring in the punting unit. Probably a smart play. Richland leads 35-28 down to 8:09 in the 4th quarter.
You got to be sure on this snap. If you recall, early in the game, right? High snap led to a problem. Janidlo's got to, if he gets a high snap, Janidlo's got to hurry up and get the ball. And even if he can't kick it, he's got to take care of the ball. But right now, let's get a clean snap and a good punt away.
All right, part 1's okay. Good snap. There's the kick. It's a low kick. Picked up by Lingenfelter. Lingenfelter brought down by Jordan Nichols at the 45-yard line.
Okay, so towards the end of the play, Cody Yeager got pushed from behind. I'm not telling you that because there should have been a penalty called. I think it was after the play, but Cody turned And fortunate that he was by his own sidelines because they got him off there. You don't want to overreact to that moment. So the good news is Jordan Nichols was back out in the field there. Evan McCracken is back out in the field there.
So Richland had a huge stop last time on defense. We'll see what they do this time as Central takes over at their own 45-yard line. 7:59 remaining in the fourth quarter. Richland leading 35-28. As Hunter Smith will stay in as the lone backer with Hohenstein. Penna will be covering Lingenfelter. And Hohenstein back there getting a lot of pressure again. Loses a tackle, throws down the field, has a man, and off the fingertips of Lingenfelter. So good pressure from behind by the Rams, unable to take down Hohenstein as he gets away. Hohenstein very elusive.
I will tell you this, regardless how this game ends, Mr. Hohenstein will be seeing Joe Penna in his sleep
Oh
tonight.
my gosh, yes. Joe Penna has come alive here and is just tracking down Hohenstein. Able to take him down last time.
Look, it's one of the talents that quarterback has. Just the shoulder turn that he evaded that. A lot of guys end up squared there, and what they end up getting is a load full of that linebacker right between the numbers. He was able to turn just enough to fend Joe off. Now, it busted up the momentum of the play, but he escaped and got a pass off.
All right, so 2nd down and 10 upcoming. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein getting some pressure again, has to roll out to his right. Throws a pass, and nice play, broke up there by number 24.
Cody Yeager.
Cody Yeager breaks it up.
Cody's another contributing member from this sophomore class that you've got out there.
We were just talking about it in the car, Jim, yes.
Cody got just enough of that. That receiver still had a chance, but then he was tight against the sideline, and he had to focus on that so much he couldn't pull the whole way in. Again, impressed with the window that Hohenstein just threw that ball into that, right?
Yeah, Hohenstein, but again, he's just under duress here. Richland just keeps coming after him. 3rd down and 10 now for Central. They have the ball at their own 45-yard line, exactly where this drive started. Hohenstein again back to throw. Hohenstein feeling the heat, little screenplay. Hunter Smith able to elude one tackle, cannot elude the others. And it is number 5, Sam Penna, along with 53, Declan Piscatella, who takes down Hunter Smith. They got no gain on the play. In fact, they lost a couple of yards.
Look,
so 4th down.
I think you need to be careful here. I think you need to watch the fake punt. You're running out of time, and Richard's
the problem is, though, Jim, I agree, but it's 4th down and 12. So this is not a position on the field. If it was 4th and a little shorter, I would say I'd be a little more concerned to 4th and 12. But Hunter Smith has held the ball a lot. We talked about this in the car, too. He gets it. He'll actually hold it a little bit before he decides to punt it away.
Yeah, I just think the Rams have to be
And
conservative.
he's holding it, and he's going to punt it away.
Trying to get his coverage down there.
And just get away from the football, let it bounce.
There you go.
And it will just kind of die. It actually takes a good Richland bounce. And the ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line. So Richland will take over. This is a chance right now, Jim, as far as to put the game away. Richland has the ball, 6:51 remaining. They're up by 7. You have the football. This is a chance to go down the field and make it a 2-score game.
And enough time has passed. Do you have the full complement out there? Is Evan McCracken out there? Have we seen anything of Graydon Lewis? I do not think he's returned into the game.
I don't know if PJ's got an update if he's down where Graydon Lewis is at all, but I think I see Graydon on the bench.
Look, you got Plackey in the game to the right of Sam. And a lot of times you see him in short yardage. He's a good blocker, and he's a big physical presence.
And we're going to have an official's timeout.
They're going to send Plackey off because they're not happy about something. His shirt's not. If that's because his shirt's not tucked in.
Yeah, some equipment. Yeah, this is. So they will bring in Jude McGarrett will come in.
Look, I don't know what number one for Central's been doing, but physically I think Austin Yarnick has a speed and has an advantage on him on the right side.
Yeah, matched up one-on-one. Penna hands off to McCracken. McCracken reverses field. McCracken keeps reversing the field. He breaks a tackle. McCracken will get over the 45-yard and just about midfield. We thought Evan McCracken may have had the break.
Well, I tell you, he had just enough of an angle that he got a hold. Oh, and we got a flag at the end. They're going to call a flag after the play on somebody.
They're going to call it sideline. It might just be a warning. Okay. The first one, I believe, is just a sideline warning.
How do you call a sideline warning when the entire team in play ends up right in the sign? Everybody's moving back there.
Yeah, I don't think this is a penalty the first time. I think this is just a warning.
If it is a sideline warning, that's what it is. Well, at any rate, the defender, it wasn't so much that he caught Evan, it's that he was able to get his hand firmly on the ball. Evan had to move that other hand down and rightfully slow down to secure the football. Otherwise, if he gets a hold of a wrist or an ankle, Evan can fight through that clean, not worry about ball security, and I think he breaks it. That was a great play by that defender to slow that play enough to stop a guy that can break it off and win it in a moment.
Yeah, he reversed field and almost fell in the crease along the left sideline. First down and 10, McCracken again. This time goes off a right tackle and gets over midfield.
All right, you're starting to see some tempers flare out there. You are seeing guys shaking hands, but the referees, again, they got to be careful with that whistle. And it was away from the ball. Our defensive back, our fullback blocking one of their linebackers, they stay engaged a little too long. I'm not placing blame. They both did it. But if they don't blow the whistle quick and then they call penalty on one of these guys, either side, because they haven't blown it dead, that's a problem.
We are down to 6:10 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Richland leading 35-28. Richland has the ball at the 50-yard line. Second down and 8 upcoming. Looks like Yarnick, the lone wide receiver. And it will be Sam Penna, a bootleg. Gets over the 50-yard line before he's taken out of bounds, so picks up a couple of yards.
Well, I'll tell you, on one level, you want to see Sam, not take that hit. But at this stage in the game, Sam knows 2 yards here is very valuable, and we got a flag on the play. We do have a flag away from the ball. Oh,
it's going to be on Central. It's like Richland. Janidlo is pointing towards Central's way.
Well, the way
that's a chop block. It is a chop block on Central. This is, I believe, a 15-yard penalty, is it not? Illegal chop block.
Should be enough for a first down here. Let's see what the actual call is. A hit below the.
They called a chop block. So it should be a 15-yard penalty.
All right. So I'm going to point this out because I had to point it out. You don't get the yardage and the penalty. The referees made that mistake last game. They gave Sam's carry, and then they're assessing the penalty. Unless it happened at the end of the play.
It may have happened at the very end, yeah.
If it happened at the end of the play, then you get it. Look, Richland's going to run the ball here.
But it takes the ball all the way down to the 33-yard line at Central. And again, Richland only has one wide receiver. It's Austin Yarnick. He is to the far left side of the field. Evan McCracken and Javon Platchey in the backfield. It will be Evan McCracken running behind Platchey and taken down by Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith's had a really good defensive football game, Jim.
Yeah, he's a really good ball player.
So this will bring up second down and 13, 3-yard loss on the play. As Hunter Smith came in and able to bring down McCracken. Now is Easton Robertson in at running back along with Evan McCracken. And Penna rolls out. Penna has to reverse field. Penna going to keep it himself. Penna able to avoid a tackle. Almost gets back to the 35-yard line.
Well, I tell you, he did a good job of avoiding the big hit. Cut it up. There was a moment where it might have broken free. And then when that closed, he got down.
Yeah, Richland's going to need a first down here, Jim. I mean, this may be 4-down territory anyhow. They have 3rd and 13. The ball is still spotted at the 36-yard line. We're down to 4:14 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Richland up by 7, 35-28. And now we're going to a little more of a spread here, bringing in Box and Magera, along with Yarnick and trying to catch the other wide receiver here. It is McCracken up the middle. McCracken gets over the 35-yard line, brought down to the 34. So it's going to bring up a fourth down.
Look, that's the smart call, right? It keeps the clock rolling or forces them to call timeout. You know you're going for it on fourth down. You're going to eat up 30 seconds of clock here. I wouldn't be surprised if Richland calls a timeout before they run a play.
Clock is running. We're down to 3:30.
Right.
Richland up by 7.
Richland might let this run down all the way to the play clock is gone and then call timeout.
It is 16 seconds on the play clock.
Or you take your shot deep.
Fourth down and 11. Upcoming for the Rams.
That's too much cushion on Feitel.
Penna going to roll out. Get him some heat. Penna going to keep it. Penna over the 30-yard line. Penna breaks the tackle. Ball's loose. And Central able to pick it up.
Well, he wasn't going to get the first down.
He wasn't going to get the first down, I don't think, anyhow. But Central comes up with the football. They would have got down on bounds and maybe gave them 4 yards.
Had he picked it up and run, then you've got something different. So Penna trying to turn that into a first down. So and nothing changes on that. Maybe about 4 yards. A moment passes. So 3:04.
Ball at the 31-yard line of Central. They're going to have to go 69 yards here. They are down by 7. Must score a touchdown.
And if you're Hohenstein, you're in the huddle going, somebody get 34.
Yeah, Richland has been bringing the heat since we started the second half. Hohenstein's been under a lot of pressure.
Look, they're either going to take a big crack right away or they're going to run that screen.
All right, so Hohenstein will go in with... I think we're going to have a timeout here called to Central.
Look, the clock was already stopped on a change of possession. That they have to burn a timeout before they even
they
run
were
a play.
very, very confused coming out of the break. So we'll go ahead and run down our sponsors real quick. Jim, you want to handle these duties? All right, run down our 34 sponsors. Thank you to all.
Let's hear it for our friend State Senator Wayne Langer-Holt, Memorial Chevrolet, RPM Signs, Advantage Auto Service, the Ashbro Landscaping Curbing, Roof Rejuve, Vantage Physical Therapy, Asiago's Restaurant, Tap 814 Bar and Grill, the Market Basket Grocery Store, First Team Advertising. Also, thank yous to Johnstown Construction, Sporting Good Discounters, Flair of Country Catering, the Fifth Bar and Grill, DB Homes, FX Screen Printing, Slovenian Savings Alone, Laurel Auto Group, Precious Metals and Diamonds Company, Beauty Lawn, Dr. Edward L. DiMartino, DMD, Mahalco's General Contracting, and also First Summit Bank, Best Window, Chan Soon Sung Medical, Ponchione Financial Group, Advanced Office Systems, Cardellino Eye Care, FWF and Erie Insurance Provider, Pinnacle Chiropractic Spine and Sports, Nico's Restaurant, Rizzo's Italian Restaurant, and Dean Jordan Goodyear Tires.
Very well done, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so we are down to 3:04 in the fourth quarter. Richland leading 35-28. First and 10 for Central at their own 31-yard line. They got to go 69 yards. Hohenstein going to keep it. Hohenstein has a man out in the flat. That is Rule. Rule gets over the 45-yard line, out of bounds at about the 48. So big pickup there on first down, about 17 yards.
Good hustle there by Penna 5 and Penna 34 to catch up and at least force that out of bounds. But that's a nice first down gain for them.
Yeah, they'll spot the ball at the 48-yard line. Down to 2:57. Those are the kind of plays I guess you were talking about, Jimmy. You got to hit those little quick hitters because Richland has been bringing heat.
They don't want to take a chance on a sack. They got to get rid of the ball, make a play, get downfield some, and then take their pop.
All right, first down and 10. Hohenstein rolls out to his right. Hohenstein looking. Hohenstein trying to stretch it. Luke Vitale coming up. Luke Vitale grabs the shirt, brought down by Jordan Nichols for a short gain at about the 50-yard line, maybe about a 2-yard gain. We'll see where they spot this.
Clock keeps running. That's big. Stayed in bounds. Tackle made. Look, to Hohenstein's credit, this is a gritty effort. This second half, he has taken some hits. Even when he's made the play, he has taken some hits. Probably the least he's been hit was for the late hit that they called against Richland, which was a questionable call. He has taken some pops even on completed balls.
Ball spotted just short of the 50. We're down at 2:19 and counting. Second down and 8. Hohenstein back into the gun. Hohenstein going to hand off. This is that's a Rule. And Rule hit quickly by Declan Piscatella and brought down after a short gain.
Declan just swallowed him up there. I mean, they were hoping to catch Richland. And I don't know if for a moment it looked like a good play call that they caught Richland out of position. But that wingspan of Declan, he ran into those grateful arms.
There's no urgency that I see on Central. We're down to 1:44, Jim. They're running the ball. The clock is running. There is no urgency for Central to head up. They've got to score 7 here, and it's late in the ball game.
It's more important for them to get it right now. They need a big chunk play so their quarterback can try to get a tie for them from around the 10.
All right, Hohenstein getting some pressure again. Hohenstein has to roll line. Here comes Joe Penna. Hohenstein chasing. Hohenstein. He tries to get it away. We'll throw into empty space. So Joe Penna just putting the heat on Hohenstein, had to get rid of it in the open space. It will fall incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down and 6.
Look, the thing there was he shook Joe. Joe whiffed on the first tackle.
He did.
And when he turned, all of a sudden Joe's back on him again, and there was contact there.
All right, so this could be the ball game. 4th down and 6. If Central does not pick this up, the ball game is going to be over.
Look, do you take your crack for the touchdown? Do you take your crack for the first down? Hohenstein's going to run around and try to buy time.
All I know is you got to watch 22. That's going to be the play. You got to watch number 22. It'll be Sam Penna matching up here on Lingenfelter as they come out of the break.
You know,
They'll keep Hunter Smith in at.
Hook and ladders are a trick play in the book, so you just let your all-state quarterback try to handle that.
All right, here we go. Hohenstein back to throw. Hohenstein is looking for Lingenfelter. Getting some pressure again. It's going to be a holding call. They picked up the first down, but there's going to be a holding call here on Central. This is coming back. It's going to be a fourth down and very, very long upcoming.
Look, I hate to sound like a proud papa, but that guy
You
had
should
to hold
be.
Joe, and Joe still took a swat at the ball.
Yeah, Joe was coming.
Hold from that spot.
Yeah, Joe Penna was coming. They had no choice but to take him down. And this is going to be a hold on Central. This is coming back. So we're going to have a fourth down and very, very long with 1:12 remaining in the football game. They're going to have to take the shot down the field here.
Look, they've converted on more than a few of these. They're perfectly capable of it.
The only thing is, though, now Richland is bringing a lot more pressure than they were previously to set that play up down the field. Hohenstein needs time. He has not had that time. So the ball comes all the way back to the, looks like the 34-yard line of Central.
Look, either this quarterback is going to make this first down or somebody's going to knock the ball out of his hand while he's trying.
Yeah, it is fourth down and 24. 1:08 left and counting now.
Sam's just got to give a lot of cushion on this side and make sure of the tackle.
All right, Hohenstein.
Low snap.
And here comes Joe Penna. Joe Penna from behind knocks the ball, and the game is going to be over as Joe Penna able to knock the ball, knocks the hand of Hohenstein, could not get the ball down the field. Richland just made a huge step. Richland is going to win this ball game. 53 seconds remaining. All they got to do is take the knee, and this ball game will end. Richland, what a great start to this football season so far.
So listen to me, kids. Pickles and bananas.
I think we're all going to do it now. Pickles and bananas.
Tuna noodle for lunch. Pickles and bananas for two days. Avoid the cramping.
I may be cramping right now. This has been an incredible game. Plus, my buddy Ryan's been keeping me nice and calm here, though.
Great company.
My buddy Ryan Robertson. Yes, we're in very tight quarters here with Doug Black.
Look,
and
I know my wife is eventually going to watch this game. She's in the stands now, so she has no idea. Her and I just celebrated our 19th wedding anniversary.
Hey, congratulations!
Thank you. And we spent a good time of our alone time together, nerve-wracked over how the boys would respond in this moment.
Yeah,
so
this is I mean, this is as impressive as a football game as you're going to see. Unless let's face it. Okay, we don't have Brock Batchy. We do not have Graydon Lewis for the better part of this fourth quarter.
Two of the better football players in this team.
We lost Evan McCracken for parts of this football game, and yet the Rams were able to come out. And Jordan Nichols have left this game in spurts.
And if you want to know a moment where Central missed an opportunity, we had all those guys out, and they chose to run the ball into a remaining strength, and then they chose to pass the ball Sam's way instead of against any of the more inexperienced guys that were out there, and we held and got them off the field.
All right, lining up into victory formation, the only time you'll ever see a Richland quarterback go under center. And there's a snap. Sam Penna will take the knee. We may have to snap the ball one more time.
Evan McCracken and that victory formation back. I have no concept of numbers in this ball game. Who did what?
We need a statistician. If anybody, anybody is out there,
we got you tech support.
Seriously, but anybody out there wants to be a statistician for us, please just show up to a game.
Ed, you're holding the pencil. Use it.
We will so welcome you in, and you can do stats. We just don't have them. Richland will take this football game. It is over, 35-28 over the Central Scarlet Dragons. What a game here in Roaring Spring! I cannot say enough.
A good moment at the 20. Where Austin Yarnick went out to shake Hohenstein's hand, who's clearly upset and defeated, and a good sign of respect. I will tell you this: Central leaned on that fade pattern all day and made it work for a half. But there's a golden rule here: when all you have is a one-trick pony, sooner or later you get sick of the pony. And they didn't have another answer.
But I'm going to you got to give credit to Richland's defensive line.
That's what I mean. They said, well, here's the counter punch.
That's right.
And
just came.
And they didn't have anything to counter the counter.
Yep. They could not stop them. Richland putting heat, particularly number 34, Joe Penna, who just had a whale of a second half. He was putting so much pressure on Hohenstein. I think you're right. I think Hohenstein's going to be seeing 34 in his nightmares. And Hohenstein is going to be a very sore boy tomorrow morning when he wakes up.
Hohenstein and Sam Penna embracing right now. That's probably the first time tonight he's grateful to be touched by a Penna. But that said, just you know firsthand the respect that the Richland Rams have for the Central team, and I can't tell you the significance of to come on the road, to survive what Forest Hills did, to come on the road and win this ball game, and then despite some things that happened. PJ, I know you're going to try to get the boss man down there. I'm going to guess he's going to be flabbergasted as to what to say. A lot of things transpired here tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's a really special night down here. I mean, we're gonna have to come up to the box for this interview, maybe.
No, you sound good there. I don't.
Yeah, I think if you come across the field, maybe
I'm
it'll
gonna let
pick
the
you up a
coach
little better.
talk to his guys, and I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, because right now you sound really, really good. We saw Jordan Nichols just coming off with crutches and an ice bag. It looked like on his knee.
Yeah, look,
so we're going to think the best for.
I'm going to tell
Graydon
you,
Lewis.
I pointed out in the negative sense in that Central had a moment when Richland had 4 defensive starters off the field, and they chose to run at the remaining strength. But having said that, Cody Yeager made a couple plays in that.
He made a huge play, yes.
And it is no small task. Okay, I'm going to point out that our board has buttons, and when you hit these buttons, strange things just happen. So don't push any of those buttons.
Everybody loved the little music. It was kind of cool. It was a nice little interlude, correct?
All right.
If anybody disagrees with me, you can send me a text. But I kind of like that little musical interlude.
All right. So what I want to point out is Dugan Chase.
There you go.
Came in and had to go on that left end. Working contained in this game is one of the critical elements of it. Now, he didn't get a tackle on the play. He didn't get a stop, but he held his contain. There was a point when Richland suddenly had to put 4 sophomore defenders out there, in addition to a couple of sophomores that were already out there, and they held the line. And when they were putting pressure early on to convert the second bad choice of one of the best quarterbacks in the state into an instant touchdown, and Evan McCracken found a way not to cramp the whole way down the field, that's a big outcome. I don't know that I can put in words the significance of this kind of victory.
No, exactly.
Hey, guys, I had a moment to go over and talk to Coach from Central. Their all-state quarterback. Same injury that my son Ryan had a year ago. They reached out to us the night of Ryan's injury. I mean, this a great football game. You know, none of these kids or coaches wanted to lose. They all want to win, but a lot of class over Central and their program and coaches. Yeah. So I can take my hats off to them.
There's no doubt about that, both off the field and on. It's a terrific program. And really, booster to booster, I will tell you, a wonderfully supported program by the community, much like the Richland Rams are. And nothing but respect for what's going on here. There were multiple times where you saw players helping each other up from varying sidelines. And, even when there were some questionable things that happened towards the sidelines, you never saw that escalate into something that it shouldn't have been. It was, get up, pat it on, let the referees call the game, and move on from there. You just heard the Richland Ram band in the background playing the alma mater for the Rams, and this is a big win. And the Rams go to Somerset next week.
We have McCourt Carroll.
Okay,
we'll be at the Point Stadium next Friday night. We have McCourt Carroll.
So not an away game, but probably easier to find the Point Stadium.
It'll be a lot easier to find it'll be a lot easier to find a Point Stadium. I kind of enjoyed the trip. It was kind of fun. We went to 3 different spots, and what was the name of the ice cream place, PJ? But it was looking pretty good as we passed it up. Forgot what the name of it was, but ice cream sounds good right about now.
It was a bar, and there's a good chance PJ won't pass the bar on the way home.
It was called ice cream. That's all I know.
So, guys, I got here. I'm having some technical difficulties. Might have to ask the boosters for a new mic. We'll see. But anyways, I only have one thing to say. Yeah! Take us through it.
Exhausted. I mean, just physically, mentally exhausted. Kids just laid it on the line. Great effort. Great team they played. And we came out on top.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Ed and Jim and Ryan got his leg broke. Coach Holstein reached out to me immediately, and I mean, a lot of class in that organization. And but let me tell you, the Rams came to play. I mean, you guys throwing some underclassmen in, and let alone have really made a big stance on the field in a regular game, but a game of this magnitude to a team of this magnitude. Just I don't even know what to ask you, Brandon. I mean, this was just unbelievable.
It was just the next man up the second half. I mean, guys kept going down. That's what happens in these types of games. And it was a championship environment, and we're 2-0, moving on to Bishop McCord next week.
Listen, again, I'm speechless. I got to come up. I'm going to have to start doing some homework. Try to screw with you again like I used to. Just don't have it in me tonight. But great job. I'm going to really enjoy this ride home. I'm going to smile all weekend, and I'll get my game face on the sideline with you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next Friday.
All right, take care, Brandon.
Good job, PJ. Yes, I mean, not much you can say. I'm pretty exhausted. I think I need your pickle juice and bananas. I think seriously, I think I'm starting to have a cramp. We were in very tight quarters tonight, and Jim, credit to you because I'm standing at the window. Jim really couldn't stand at the window. He's kind of going around the other side. He's caught up on his tippy toes. So great job by Jim Penna.
Look, there were moments where I couldn't see, and there were moments where I couldn't look.
Yeah, that's kind of well put. But yeah, it's just kind of a tight, cramped quarters here at Central. But they were very accommodating here. I'm not going to say anything bad. It's a great grass field, but our quarters are just kind of tight. We're both kind of crammed in with the other coaches. They were gracious enough, really, seriously, to have us in here. They could have just said, listen, we don't want you in here. But they're very accommodating. My buddy Ryan Robertson, I mean, can't say enough. I love hanging out with Ryan. So.
Yeah, thank you to Central. And in fairness, these press boxes that were built in 1961 were not meant to accommodate live streaming on the internet.
That's right. Who would have thunk it?
Games. So hats off to everybody who pulled this off. Especially the Richland Ram football team and Coach Bailey and his troops. This was one when we look back where they kept finding a way to keep it the game. And since they got the ball first, they managed to hold the lead.
Yep.
And I'm going to go back. 1st and 12 from the Richland 12
after
a blown punt.
After the punt.
And it doesn't become a 2-score game.
Yeah, because they kept going to that like you said, they kept going to that little fade route, corners of the end zone. It did not work out well. Richland was able to stop all of them. They kept trying to find Lingenfelter in the corners of the end zone, and Richland able to hold and keep the ball from finding Lingenfelter's hands. And Richland takes over.
In addition to the added pressure, the defensive backs adjustment. Sam was given a little more cushion, so he had a better view of the ball was going, and he was able to head things up. Balls didn't get thrown that way because the quarterback could see, Sam could see it. And I in particular, I'm going to point to that first touchdown in the corner where Austin Yannick got beat. The ball just went over his head as he turned. Later on a critical play down the right side, it was the same scenario. Austin Yarnick played the receiver's hands and knocked it away, even though the guy had a yard on him. That was the growth of a football player tonight.
Yep. Yarnick really closed well on that ball, too, because he was beat, I'm going to say, by at least 2 steps. And Yarnick able to close, and like you said, just watch the hands, knock the ball away, because that would have been a big play. That would have been a huge first down. It would have been deep into Richland territory. At that point, Richland, I think, stopped them after that. And Richland just took over this football game. And you got to give credit to the coaching staff because they just went in at halftime and said, we are not going to let Jeff Hohenstein beat us through the air. They just did not. Those defensive front, your son, Joe, in particular, was not going to let Hohenstein have any time. And we saw him make 2 really, really poor decisions, which I think, obviously, the turning point of the football game is 28-21. Richland losing. Richland gets stopped. They put all that pressure. Hohenstein makes 1 bad decision, gets away with it. Ball gets tipped up in the air. It falls into Hunter Smith's hands. They don't get much yardage. Next play, same thing. All this pressure comes from Zach Hancock. Hohenstein makes a poor decision, throws it into Evan McCracken's hands with open field. Now you're at a 28-28 ball game. Richland has all the momentum and never look back, Jim.
I could probably stand here and do this all night. I don't think I have anything less.
This is just fantastic. I mean, seriously, it's just fantastic.
So I do want to, again, thank our sponsors. I want to thank those of you who make this a part of your listening habit and who are supportive of the Richland Ram football program in a variety of ways. I will tell you, we have that away game. When we do come home again, it is our Salute to Heroes night. And we had a special commemorative T-shirts made for this that look like nothing else. That closed sale has closed, but the response has been huge, and there will be a sizable check donated to the Veterans Community Initiative because of your participation, Richland Nation, Ram Nation. Thank you very much. And let's get us out of here, man. I got to go see my wife.
I would agree. So here at Central, Richland Rams take this one 35-28 in what is going to be an instant classic. What a football game here. Can't wait to watch the highlights actually later. So I'm Ed DiMartino along with Jim Penna and PJ McGowan. We'll see you all again next week as we go to the Point Stadium, as Richland will take on the McCourt Carroll Crushers. I guess they're still called, correct?
They're wearing the blue and gold. They look a little bit like Notre Dame.
So look a little bit different. And we'll see you all again. Have a great night, everybody. Be safe and have a great Labor Day weekend.